I'm gonna go live, and we can do a clap in a second and stuff. I'm gonna do a tweet. Twitter.com. I'm gonna publish this now. This is again free to everybody, since this was a thing.
These works are based on the action role-playing iOS video game Infinity Blade. Two Infinity Blade.
Yeah, there was some Infinity Blade novelizations. Remember when that game came out and people were like, "We can render 3D graphics on an iPhone," and then like 3 years later they ported XCOM 2 to the iPhone.
I do. They were right.
I liked Infinity Blade. It was all right.
Yeah.
I never played it.
It was just like Punch-Out.
It was Punch-Out, yeah. The problem was that people pretended that it was more than Punch-Out.
I have a soft spot in my heart for stupid tech demos where it's like people being like, "Look at what the hardware can do," and the thing that they produce is like Knack or Infamous Kill. What's that game called? Killzone, Warzone, or something.
I think it's just Killzone.
Like, this is just like a
Killzone. Yeah.
You're saying? Are you saying? Are you saying the one that was on PSP, or are you saying a particular one of these?
The PS5 one where they were like, "We can do deferred rendering for the first time," or whatever. Yeah. And it just, the environments were so detailed, so overwhelmingly detailed that it was impossible to get a visual read on any single frame of the game.
That's how I felt about...
What was that, a PS4 one? There hasn't been a Killzone on PS5 yet, right?
Yeah, it was the PS4 one.
Right, you said PS5, right. Yeah. Shadowfall.
That's how I felt about... That's why I couldn't ever play that Monster Hunter game that everyone really liked. There was just so much visually happening that I couldn't see.
Rise or
World, probably.
World
is a lot. Fairly.
World is a lot.
World is a lot, as we've discussed.
I say this every day. I wake up and I just say, "World is a lot."
World is a lot today.
Never stops being true.
You know what time that is?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, does someone have like a link to that? I don't even remember the name.
Miro.
Yeah, Miro link. Yeah, I've got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I put it in the scheduling chat, so whatever.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten that whatever this program is just absolutely forces my computer to work overtime.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that.
We're overclocking Jack's PC.
We're overclocking my MacBook Air, actually.
It's technically a personal computer. It is personally your computer.
It is your personal computer. You're right.
It is. Do we want to go at 15?
Yes. Nice. It's one more at 25. One more at 25. Okay. One of those will be good.
On my end, they both sounded good.
Okay.
The claps were so in line that it didn't sound like there was as many people clapping as are here.
I fully fucked up the first one, so that's amazing.
Oh,
team.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
It does the little "here's whose mouse is here" thing, and I was like, why did we write Keith J. Carmen?
He just did that.
Moving around.
That was Aliens in the Outfield.
That's a different character.
Yeah,
different thing. All right.
I forgot we did that.
I forgot that Aliens in the Outfield was called that, and I was just thinking, is Sylvie trying to say Angels in the Outfield? And also, I wasn't in that.
I don't know anyone from that movie. I can't make any jokes.
Christopher Lloyd.
Sure. That movie came out like before I was born.
That's not true. Is that true?
I think that movie was 98.
A movie that came out 2 months after I was born.
Jesus.
Oh, 94.
Yeah. Don't dox me.
Sorry, 1794.
The first film, Angels in the Outfield.
Christopher Lloyd plays the angel that loves the angels, and Danny Glover plays
the ducked when Christopher Lloyd threw a baseball.
He mostly throws angels players. in that movie.
He's like lifting them around and stuff.
Yeah. He's
Helping
like
them out.
puppeteering the angels to
Right.
make them win.
Normal angel shit. Great.
So that a little kid's shithead dad will hang out with him.
What?
Why not?
Yeah, it's about this shitty dad who goes like, "I'll hang out with you more if the angels win the pennant." Like, a thing that will obviously never happen. And so God intervenes.
I have a story about another baseball movie, Field of Dreams.
Do
you all know the story about the cornfields creating the cornfield in Field of Dreams?
I know that they created it, but I don't know the story behind it.
So there's this cornfield that is like a central part of that movie, and they decided that they needed to have a set that they could use. So they were really, really anxious about planting the corn and getting it to look right for the scheduling, which meant that they wildly overestimated when they needed to plant it and how much they needed to plant. So by the time shooting started, the cornfield was like immensely higher than they thought it was going to be. And they basically succeeded on every metric, which means that any scene in that movie where they're shooting in the fully grown cornfield, they had to run elevated duckboards through the field so that humans standing on them would be visible above the corn when they were in fact standing on these raised walkways because their damn corn had grown too much.
That's wild.
So funny. The corn is dense, and I mean it's good in the movie. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks too good, maybe.
It looks, yeah. I mean, it looks ethereal. It looks like another world. Like people are emerging from another world, which is great.
All right.
Too much corn.
Should we?
Welcome to Friends at the Table, an actual play podcast focused on critical world building, smart characterization, and fun interaction between good friends. I'm your host, Austin Walker, and joining me today, Jack the Key.
Hello. You can find me on Twitter at NotQuiteReal and buy any of the music featured on the show at notquitereal.bandcamp.com.
Keith Carberry.
Hi, my name is Keith Carberry. You can find me on Twitter at KeithJCarberry, and you can find the Let's Plays that I do at youtube.com/runbutton.
Sylvi Claire.
Hey, I'm Sylvia, and you can hear more of me if you search Emoji Drum 2.0 in your podcatcher of choice.
And Ali Akampora.
Hi, you can find me over at Ali_West on Twitter, and you can find the show over at Friends_Table.
Today, we are continuing our game of Orbital, a sci-fi RPG of precarious spaces amid interstellar war by Jack Harrison. You can find links to that in the description of this episode. Last time, we introduced the game, and we set up our characters, and we set up some of the aspects of everything. I feel like maybe we should, and we did an intro. We did our intro sequences where we did some stuff. Do we want to go around the room and let's say maybe start with Keith here in the top left and reintroduce our characters by name at least. We don't have to read everything since we did just do that episode, but just maybe name, pronouns, class, or playbook. I don't know. Is there anything else super important? It's just premise of what their deal is, and then also go over what your aspect is.
I could do a deal.
Your starting aspect.
My character's name is Cheel Pushy. My playbook is the Heart. Pronouns he, him, and his deal is that in trying to in penance for some mysterious crimes of the past, has opened a nightclub / comedy club, and is there any other? Oh, this other side is not my deal. That's the aspect. Yeah, that's my aspect.
But yeah, that's your vibe, right? The Heart is someone who is a hospitable individual with their own venue serving the community.
Yeah.
And then what is your aspect?
My aspect is scum and villainy. And I've got two gangs, the Weird Orchard Syndicate and the Zealous Broken Circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Ali.
Hi. Yeah, I'm playing Mustard Red. She is a administrator / is involved with the Brink Proxy, which is a community effort of
where was that at?
people coming up with the upkeep of the ship. I think that's on
It's over
the station
here.
itself over
Yes.
there. Yeah. She she believes that with careful vigilance and keeping track of people, she can keep the station more safe. Kind of plunky.
Wait,
I don't know what else.
plunky or plucky?
Yeah, I'm allowed to be plunky.
Wait, is plunky? I don't know what plunky is. Is plunky?
It's like a
It's like when you
personality
carelessly play a
trait.
piano.
Wait, I thought it was.
When you're a go-getter. You're
I think
a little
that's.
off,
I think
but
that's.
people like to have you
plucky.
around.
I think that's
My friend.
plucky.
Did I just say it wrong? Is that
No,
what
I-
I'm saying?
It's
Yeah.
plucky, not plunky.
I like
Plucky.
plunky. I like it with an N. It's just.
Plucky is
I
way
didn't know if it
better.
was a
I
different
do
thing.
prefer it.
Yeah.
Plucky is when you're plucky but also clumsy.
And also maybe evil or just a little off.
Wait.
We're
Okay.
gonna see what happens.
Okay.
Great. Oh, we should also.
Evil is probably pushing. We're gonna see what happens. Find out what happens. But
Mustard seems like a weird little freak.
Right. You have an
yeah.
evil job.
Yeah, you have an evil
How
job.
long have you had that job? by the way?
No,
Listen, Keith. People in the world are just trying to get by. They just have
Everyone
the
is just ready to
job.
buy. It's a community effort of station upkeep.
Uh-huh.
And it's important, and sometimes you push it a little far and your mentor hates you.
I simply wouldn't work for Brink Proxy for 15 years. I would just find a different job.
Okay, you know what?
It's fine.
Proxy is different.
Yes,
from-
Brink Proxy is...
Proxy aren't
From
evil,
what-
right?
No,
Mustard
no, no,
was
no.
doing.
Brink Proxy is
Yes,
actually fine.
yeah.
Brink Proxy is actually fine. I also just realized we did not go over... Let's also include connections to player characters and NPCs.
Right.
So let's do yours. Mustard, and then we'll go back and do Cheels.
Sure. So, mine are that is with Cheel that I recently caught Cheel gardening, which I know he is banned from.
Oh, right.
I also have a connection with Paris, who's Jack's characters. I asked Paris to find me a rare and dangerous fashion magazine from a distant planet.
Right.
I told Austin this the day after we recorded this last, that I woke up in the morning and I said to myself, did we invite a magazine that killed people? And we did do that.
We did.
Magic of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And my two resident connections are my former mentor turned into my biggest critic, who is, do we name that person?
Yeah, that's Craig.
Craig.
Right, Craig. Yeah, Craig.
Yeah,
My
Craig.
employee.
Okay, Craig the employee, yeah. And
Joe DeVive.
and Joe DeVive, the charming rogue I can't help loving, who is the twin of Joy DeVive.
Uh-huh.
We'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later. We get yours really quick? Cheel?
Yeah,
I almost said Chugi. I almost said Chugi. That's a different thing.
that's wrong.
That's wrong.
You can call me Pushy. We already talked about getting caught gardening by Red Mustard, but I also heard a rumor that
Right.
3T is loading guns onto the orange shipments.
Right. We have the blue-orange shipments are about to come through. That's going to be one of the things that we talk
Right,
about.
they're blue.
You should.
oranges.
You should. And then your two NPCs.
Right, so I have
Craig.
the perfect employee that I just can't stand.
Yeah.
And then I have the ghost, ? That watches over me.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's move over to Jack.
Yeah, I'm playing Paris France, pronouns he, him, looks like a young Christopher Walken, or I guess a Christopher Walken of kind of any age, honestly.
There's some great
I am-
fan art of this character out there
There is
today.
some fantastic fan art of
Yes.
this character out there. He is someone who whose body is gradually becoming plastic, specifically like plastic plants and foliage. He is a source, a resourceful individual with the connections to get what you need. I have a connection to Mustard Red, who asked me to import a banned fashion magazine containing fashion that is dangerous to look at, potentially from Columnar, outside in the Principality. And I also know Deutsche Synchro's true identity as, spoilers, a Principality spy, and see that connection as a valuable source of contraband, potentially including a magazine that kills you. I found a stowaway defector from the Pact inside a shipping container and agreed to take care of them, despite knowing that right now, at least, I don't have the resources to do that, or the wherewithal to do that successfully. I have two connections.
We have a name for that person, do we?
No, not yet. No.
Okay.
And also, like, I don't want to reveal that I know they're there for fear of also revealing my relationship with Deutsche Synchro.
Right, sure.
Or inviting extra scrutiny. My two relationships are with Pinball, my old boss, I guess, at the markets, back when I was some sort of low salesman, who still thinks he's calling the shots, despite the fact that I do not work for him anymore. And False Fruit, an orchard guildsman, one of the creepy orchard weirdos, who is a rival fruit trader.
I just realized, Allie, we did not go over your aspect, but let's finish up Jack. Talk about the station itself, and then we'll come back over to yours, Allie.
Yeah, the aspect that I am playing is the station itself. Let me just go back over to it here. I pick it up when someone interacts with life support systems, wanders unmapped corridors, or seeks the strange. The book asked for a kind of AI entity, sort of Siri or Cortana. But we've decided instead that it's a group of volunteers operating essentially a switchboard called Brink Proxy, whose two directives are bread, water, and rest, making sure everybody is fed, everybody has a place to sleep, and everybody has enough water, and additionally to maintain the upkeep and development of the station.
I love the most Twilight Mirage thing there could be is this thing asked us for a divine, and we gave it a bunch of people, and said, no, people are going to do that one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, God. If we were in any other of our sci-fi things, we'd have. That's a divine right there.
Mirage,
Switchboard.
Allie, can you go back and tell us about your aspect?
Yeah, my aspect is the unaffiliated. I pick this up when someone is dealing with their friends and neighbors or new people, or when new people arrive on the station. The aspects that are attached with this is an upcoming event called the Cycle End Feast. The station is pretty busy right now with fruit excitement, but soon at the end of this, the people who stay here and live here are going to have a celebration of the refilling the battery or whatever. And then the naming system for the different sections of the station are that they are numbered.
All right. Do we know how many numbers there are? Like, what's a high number?
Like a 47.
Okay, so there's like up nearly 50, around 50 total.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, this is number of what?
Sections on the station.
Sections. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
That way, you're like, you want me to walk all the way to section 48? You know, that means something.
Sure.
And I'll just note really quick, Keith, the scum and villainy is picked up when someone visits the seedier parts of the station, witnesses a shady deal, or when things are too quiet. All these aspects, like the player character sheets, have moves on them that you can do, and then also guidance and scoundrel names and other stuff like that to pick from. I mean, yours have scoundrel names because it's scoundrel stuff, Keith, whereas I think Allie's has stationer names. Yeah. Excuse me. And as a reminder, those get picked up. Those are yours right now because you're starting with them. But let's say, Allie, you're in a scene and you're like, I want to talk to my neighbor. You don't have to play both of that. Someone else can pick up the aspect sheet. Those get picked up and put down as we play. Sylvi, talk to us about your character and your aspect.
My character is Deutsche Synchro. Real name is Lament. I am the Shadow. Pronouns are they, she. The Shadow is a concealed individual working towards a secret mission. So, like, I guess worth mentioning that I'm a spy for the curtain. We decided on the curtain.
I think
right?
you were the curtain. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
I do
Yes,
love
it was
the
the
spy
curtain.
who can't remember which side. They're spy.
Really inspired by Revolver Ocelot. Listen, maybe this becomes a character trait. Who knows? Play to find out what happens.
Play to find out. Yeah. Right.
Let's see. What's important things on my character sheet? Right. Starting with the notes, Paris is keeping my identity secret, which we mentioned because I am a valuable source of contraband. I'm also helping 3T, Austin's character. It's 3T, right?
3T. Yeah.
Build a network of contacts who can aid their cause, which I'm sure is like super good for them.
I think those are the big things.
I think those are the big things. My aspect is the lambent strand, which is not what we're calling this because those are both things in our setting.
Do we have lambent stuff? Do we have lambents?
We have.
Yeah, the lambent house.
Yeah, the lambent house. Right.
No, that's lambic. Yeah, that's different.
Right, okay.
That's a type of beer. Yeah, that's fair.
Close.
That's fair. It's very close.
Okay, never mind. Well, I didn't want to call it lambent. So,
yeah, no, that's fine.
We're glowing thread weaving every life together into a great tapestry. We are calling this the fervor or devotion are the two names we've got for it right now. And I pick up when someone draws on cosmic energies, asks for answers from the stars, or when a weaver reveals themselves.
A weaver being someone who can work this power.
Yeah, and this is like tied directly to the new cult that's been showing up on the Brink.
One of our threats, which I'll get to once let me do my little intro, and then we'll hop over. I should note there is also the markets as an aspect that no one has picked up yet. If we do need to pick this up because something's happening with the market, we have to then name an outside investor and 2 intentions, of which there are some suggestions here, but we have our own things we can probably figure out.
Did we do bonds?
Oh no, we did not do bonds for the shadow for Deutsch. Deutsch, what are your?
Didn't I? I thought I
did. Did you? Maybe you did. Yes, you did. You did. You did.
Yeah.
Oh, did we do NPCs?
Do we do that?
Yeah, we've been doing these. That's what we didn't do. We didn't do NPCs.
Okay.
We didn't do Cratch or Joy.
Cratch Hatchet. Wow, that was a name I sure came up with.
Cratch Hatchet.
Space Holler. I play cards with. And Joy de Vive, the beautiful spacer I told everything to. Joy de Vive's twin, I'm assuming.
And Joy, I guess you told everything to Joy. You told everything to Joy.
Yeah, I told everything to Joy.
Damn.
She's very pretty.
Okay.
I guess worth mentioning, my handler got killed, and that didn't come up last time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Up in my first, my first scene. Yeah, that was my complication.
And
my handler got killed yesterday.
You're a human-like android, it says here.
I am a human-like android
with bunny ears.
With bunny ears. That's important to me that we get that
important.
Out there.
That is very important. Love that.
Fully articulating robotic bunny ears. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Oh, robotic, not biological.
No, I'm an android.
Yeah, but you could be an android with bunny ears. You could just have bunny ears. It's Twilight Mirage.
Yeah, I know, but this is...
No, I get it. That's fine. Yeah. You're allowed. Mustard is a cyborg. Paris is a human with the collapsing plastic plant flowers. Okay, and making sure everybody's on the same page. I am playing the Signal, a compelling individual looking to create political change on the station. My name is Telios Triton Tanager, or 3T. I use he, him. I am a rebellious pop star, musician, rock star who is specifically modeled after Tizo Touchdown. My vibe is that I think that we should be getting more involved in what's happening outside of the Mirage, that there's this evil empire called the Principality, and isn't our whole thing about stopping evil from happening and creating a better world and making sure that people are safe and protected? We have all this technology and we have all this power, and we have this history of standing up against fascism and against imperialism, and now we're just gonna cower here in the fucking Mirage? I thought we were better than this. Let's get out there, etc. My relationships, Deutsch is helping me build a network of people sympathetic to my cause, and as established, do we have? Oh, you're right. Pushy knows or believes, has heard rumors that I'm loading guns and weapons onto the Blue Orange shipments, and also I think Pushy and I have a loose relationship because Pushy runs a venue, and I'm sure I've played that venue. I've since moved on to bigger venues here, but I think we probably go back. I also
sometimes you just want a smaller, more
yeah,
intimate show.
exactly,
to
100%. My two NPCs are Corson 17, who's the head of security, the pissy bureaucrat trying to shut 3T down, and Display Knife, my rival and one-time lover. And then my aspect, this isn't me, this is me, the interstellar war, an all-consuming conflict burning across the stars, pick up when someone deals with soldiers, officers, or spies, or discovers the war is closer than they thought. The three sides in our war: the Pact of Necessary Venture, the Curtain of Divinity, and Millennium Break. The differences between them all are their colonial excuses and their vision for the future. I will be picking that up to play that whenever that stuff happens. Do we want to define the market stuff right now, just so that we have it in case it pops up? I realize we probably should have done that before, but who do we think has money who would want to like pick up when someone seeks a buyer, shops for something uncommon, or needs a job done? The ways we trade for resources on the station. The things are an outside investor and then two intentions. Do we have something that fits right for outside investor? I guess Stella Ryan in general, right? Could some corp from Stella Ryan want to be like using this as an opportunity to fuck with stuff? Because they're not in the war, or they're in the war, but they're in the middle of their own internal civil war. They don't have a unified front.
I think they would need to make a. This is play to find out what happens. I think they would need to make a really good case to just show up and be like, expect the Mirage to start buying from them. Given what we know about the Mirage, but that might be fun to see.
I mean, it could be parts of Stella Ryan that are aligned to the Pact, who are not as aggressively Imperial, did not literally invade Palisade because the Curtain beat them to the punch. Or it could be parts of Orion that are tied to Millennium Break, right? This could be an outside, Millennium Break has money parts, have criminal enterprises that have money. What was Tesla Saracose's group called?
Oh God.
The Phoenix, the Foxes,
yeah, it was something like Foxes. When you said Tessely, the first thing I thought of was a fox, and I couldn't understand why. So I think it is like the Red Phoenix or something.
I think it was the Red Phoenix. That sounds very familiar to me.
Yeah, the Red Phoenix. Technically, the Red Phoenix are an Apostolian logistics and transport squad. In actuality, they're utilized by their commanding officer, Tesla Saracos, the backbone of a humble smuggling operation. Maybe that's developed into a front for some sort of, scheme to make Millennium Break money on the up and up, Tesla survived all this, right?
I believe so.
That sounds right to me. I don't see any notes
last
of,
saw them
of them
in the
dying.
Kingdom game.
Yeah, Tess didn't. Tess is sturdier than that, I feel.
Real little
that could be fun. It could be fun for that to have turned into like Red Phoenix delivery and, something, or like Red Phoenix. Like what's the cleaned up version of a smuggling operation? What's the front? How do you clean up this name?
It could just be like RFE,
RFI,
Enterprises.
Yeah.
And I think that they've become known as blockade runners. They've become like extremely successful smugglers in terms of being able to punch through principality blockades, which is why they're valuable to the Mirage. Because, or I don't know if they're valuable to the Mirage. They claim that they can add value to the Mirage by being like, we can get stuff in and out easier than anything.
Right, totally.
Whether or not that's true.
Totally.
So they have a cleaned up image, but they're just saying like, hey, we can do our crime stuff for you.
I think that if it's Tesla is truly in it for the profit, and like, yeah, they'll do some blockade running, but like Tessa's always been business first, and like I think that there would be the opportunity here to, like, I bet RFE
first ask questions
later, right? Exactly. I bet there would be a degree to which RFE might do business with all of the major Stells through weird, through various fronts that have been set up, right?
I was
War Profiteers.
Yeah.
I was mostly wondering is like, well, if they're just going around being like, yeah, we'll smuggle for you, do they need a cleaned up,
That's what I'm saying. They
RFE?
do if they're going to be the markets and not scum and villainy, they need to be that, right?
Okay.
They're the way we trade for resources on the station, pick up when someone seeks a buyer, shops for something in common, or needs a job done. Obviously, there's overlap with scum and villainy there, right? But this group needs to primarily be, this outside investor needs to primarily be a business thing and not I think they probably do smuggling. I bet they also do blockade running, but it's about the money. It's about the business. Choose two intentions. Their suggestions: establish their franchises, commodify our traditions, control our media, offer conditional safety, make us a tourist destination, turn us into entertainment.
Oh, some of those are brutal. Like the ones that are kind of out of left field. Like, imagine a turn us into entertainment ending for.
Easy to. Maybe not for. I don't think that's an RFE thing. I don't think that's a. Tesla doesn't have the. I mean, if this was Elise Brecca's Enterprises, then maybe.
Yeah.
But it's not, right? I mean, their outside investor lists are like Red Sun Galactic, Magbank Alliance, Murdoch the Undying. I think it's pretty straightforward what they're gesturing at here, which is why I initially was like, maybe we go Stella Ryan, or okay, if we want to go really evil, we do know that there is a divine. Who is this, right? This is the divine. Fuck. What is the name of that divine? The divine fuck. It's arbitrage, right? It's is that right?
Arbitrage.
Yeah, arbitrage. Yeah.
Did we change the name?
We added a comma. It's the divine, comma, arbitrage. Because, in Twilight Mirage, it was the machine arbitrage, as it did not want to be considered a divine, but under the Principality, it's happy to be considered a divine, because you need to be one to get some extra weight.
And also, throw out RFE.
Yeah, let's put, you gotta put, yeah.
And just make them fucking horrible.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially because the Mirage has a kind of queasy relationship with Divine.
That's exactly it, right? It's like they would absolutely let the Divine in if the Divine said, I'm from here. Look at your records. I'm from the Mirage, right?
Yep.
So what are these? What are these intentions? I feel like commodify our traditions. I feel like this is light, but I do think establish their franchises is something I can read more broadly to basically mean like become the dollar, like be the thing on which, like, be the global credit system, right? Like, the most stable thing in the world is the global credit system because everything is on it. Not everything, right? We've learned this recently with the war in Ukraine about how those systems work, if you hadn't known already. But like, don't try to be there's a Stella Ryan intro that's about this, where I forget the exact thing that motherfucker says. But there, it's one thing to be the clothing on the racks in the store. It's another thing to be the mall where all of the stores are. And I think it's very arbitrage to be like, I want every monetary exchange, every purchase comes through my systems, and I get a cut. Everything on Palisade, everything on the Brink, eventually everything back in the Mirage. We don't even know if Arbitrage ever actually left the Mirage, is the other thing, right? We know that Arbitrage met with Thisbe on Partisan, but we don't know that a machine even left the Mirage. Arbitrage could have been reaching through this forever anyway. So that's my pitch. My pitch is, I'm not going to even establish my franchises. I'm just going to become the backbone of all commerce. Light work. All right. So that's us. We then ran our intro setup. We opened with 3T's concerts are pushing the youth into wanting militaristic. Oh, I should read our threats first, probably. 3 threats. Hundreds of military starships are using a nearby moon as a staging area. Residents have been disappearing, emerging days later as new members of a strange cult. And a huge shipment of blue oranges has pushed the Brink to the brink. There are too many people to safely house, to keep well fed, etc. They also have a bunch of visuals, swirling nebulae, a skirt of various large ships permanently welded onto the central structure, light tubes and lamps lit with bioluminescent algae-like organisms, navigational signage, well-marked pathways, community gardens, central emergency generator, fiery, deliberately used as a spa by residents, important. Battle damage, scars from a recent principality attack, people are working to fix it. Mutated community garden with grasping vines and sprawling roots. Stray signals, devices aboard the Brink will occasionally pick up broadcasts they weren't meant to. And invasive bird species. A misplaced shipment of birds moving through the space station led to a community of birds that now lives on the station. We see them on the map. Okay. Again, so here are the opening scenes. 3T's concerts are pushing the youth into wanting militaristic intervention in the Principality. We saw kids literally spray painting stuff on the walls about getting involved in the war. Paris finds a stowaway and defector from the Pact and agrees to care for them. That was one of the things you mentioned, right, Sylvi? Was that Jack? Jack is Paris.
That's me, yeah.
Yes. While sipping coffee, Mustard notices a missing person reappearing after being put in a cult, presumably. Lament receives orders, learns about secret divine on board, a thing that we'd forgotten to mention. I guess maybe we've hinted at. And Pushy talks to a black-eyed regular about the big groups of people laying hands on the trucks. People are trying to get at those trucks. All right, so let me hit the play button again. We've gone through all of these. And we are at creating characters, connections, play guide. Unlike many role-playing games, Orbital has a structured turn system throughout play. Every round, each player chooses one of the 3 narrative actions to move the story forward. Narrate a minor scene, like we already did, exploring your character's life in a short narration. Framing a major scene where you answer a story question through improvised play, and read the station. Gather perspectives from your community on a vital issue. You don't have to follow the same turn order each round, but every player should take an action before anyone goes ahead. Let me see if there's any. So we have that little board over there for like marking all of this stuff, which Shield, you've also gone. None of us have yet acted in this next round, obviously. We did our intro minor scenes.
Wait, sorry. Where did I act in?
You didn't move your little heart icon
Okay,
you see on this board right here, the yellow thing. It doesn't matter. All of those need to go back the other way anyway, because we've all acted. Continuing play, from here, take turns normally, choosing an action each round, think about what your character wants to achieve and who could help them succeed. Bringing the characters together as swiftly as possible is strongly advised. If you're struggling to come up with an idea, pause for a moment and talk with the table. Ask, what do we want to find out next? As you discuss, consider the remaining station threats, aspects, questions, and your character's motivations. At the end of every round, consider the threats your station faces and decide if any were resolved. This might mean they were averted or that they've already come to pass. Either way, cross them off from your station sheet. And then when we mark the last threat as resolved, whether that's resolved and we're safe or resolved because it's come to pass, it's time to bring things to a close. To wrap up loose ends, play one more round. We open that final round with a minor scene, and that demonstrates how our lives changed. And then we debrief. So I think that's the big stuff. This puts everybody through. Yep. Okay. Does anyone want to take their first turn of this first full round? Are we missing? Oh, you moved all the way back. I see. There we go.
I have a question about the aspects.
Yes.
The aspects have a bunch of stuff on them in terms of like pick up when, in terms of sort of like guidance as to when the aspects should become involved. Mm-hmm. Can you also use them to frame a major scene, or do you have to frame a major scene involving your character?
They are for your character. You're picking up, anybody can pick up any aspect. You are playing your character, right? So
okay. So the aspects necessarily
I believe that's
become
true.
Involved during somebody else's scene.
That's correct. I'll reread it, or I'll read the full version of this from the book, since the shortened version here references that the book has longer things. Let's see. It might be the case that you can play as an aspect, but let me double check.
Some of the stuff on aspects, for example, on on the station itself, it says something like trigger an ominous countdown or
Right.
broadcast a message.
Those are moves you could use in any scene, as long as as long as someone has interacted with life support systems, wandered unmapped corridors, or seeks the strange.
Right.
Do you see? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the trigger. The trigger is
for these things.
Think about it like a PBTA term where it says when someone da 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 da.
Yes.
Then you get to say, I do blank. I get to make one of this set of moves. All right, let me read from what's a major scene. A major scene could be a tense negotiation, a desperate conflict, or a startling discovery. It's you and your friends figuring out the answer to a compelling story question through improvised play. It can be intimidating, being asked to create a compelling scene from scratch, though. These steps should help you get there. 1. Choose a scene question. A major scene should tightly focus around a story question. A kinetic scene might ask, can we fight our way to the bridge? Or a more considered scene might ask, can we convince these soldiers to back down? Or what lurks in the shadows of Deck 7? We are, of course, already know the answer to that one. It's Phrygian. Choose characters. Choose 2 or more characters who are present. You don't necessarily have to choose your own character. Try to leave someone free to play aspects if possible. That's the other thing. If someone is not in a scene, they can play as many aspects as they want. This isn't like we are just all GMing, and the aspects give us a way to focus that GMing, you know? So then you set the scene. So choose a scene question, choose characters, set the scene, describing the environment, and consider, where are you? What's it look like? Who else is present? What just happened? You know, are you in an established location? What are the kind of textures and sounds and lighting of a place? Are there minor characters? Are there crowded streets? Were there recent developments between the last scene and this one that we haven't talked about? Then just choose scene start. Decide how the scene starts. If you got a good idea, describe how the scene begins with your character making a move. What do they do or say? If you're struggling to think of an opening, ask another player to pick up a relevant aspect and make a move to open the scene. How will your characters react? And then once a scene starts, players are free to describe their characters making moves as the story unfolds, and you explore your question. There's no fixed turn order, but try to give everyone a character to act. But try to give everyone a chance to act. If someone seems unsure about how to participate, ask them questions about their character to bring them into the action. You'll probably also have 1 or more aspects picked up and used by players who can use their aspect moves to introduce complications, pushing the story towards their desires. Everyone is responsible for bringing this scene to life, not just aspects. You are all encouraged and empowered to describe environmental details, narrate minor characters' actions, and take ownership of the story. And then you play a scene until you feel like the scene's over. And if you don't reach a conclusive answer, that's fine. No big deal. So yes, Jack, you can totally set a scene to answer a question that doesn't have your character in it. I would say if you have a really good idea for the station itself, that's totally fine. But following the guidance of try to get characters together quickly, I would like to at least think about which characters you're pulling together, you know?
Yeah. 100%. That was not me volunteering to go
Oh,
first.
I thought you were volunteering to go first.
No. Let's see. Okay. I could go first.
Okay.
I would like a scene between me and Deutsch Synchro.
Okay. Hello.
Where have we agreed to meet if we want to talk about something that we shouldn't be talking about?
I'm looking at the map right now, trying to decide this.
We can also invent new places, so.
Yeah, but it also helps me.
Yes, I get you. I'm just making sure you know you're not locked in if none of those work.
I feel like it's somewhere where we're just gonna be we don't have we're not talking code and shit, so I'm assuming it's somewhere where we don't want people listening.
Yeah.
Or you could talk in code. That sounds fun.
We could try. We sure could try. I'm wondering if there's a spot with a lot of birds, so it's hard to record things there.
Oh, that's fun.
That's
yes.
really good.
Yeah. I'll add. Is it like a section of the place that's been totally taken over?
Yeah. What's the fucking? Aviary isn't
Yeah,
the
an
right word, is
I
it?
think that's right. Is that not right?
Is it? Okay, yeah. I just like it's kind of an improvised one. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, yeah, an improvised aviary.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, there's a reason that the birds love this place. There's something in it that is like immensely compelling to the birds that the humans don't really care about.
My idea is that this just came to mind, is that there's like a telescope or something tall that sort of mimics a tree. But I don't know if birds are
That's
that simple.
very
I don't know
funny.
if birds are as simple as me.
Birds are that simple, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad to know that I'm bird brained a little bit.
God, yeah. And so I guess we're meeting standing under the tripod of this like structure. There's just like birds whirling around us and fighting and
God. Yeah, what did you want to talk about? I think that's straight up how I open the conversation. You called me here?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I left a message in a dead drop. Otherwise I would have come to the bar. But like the fact that I left you a message in some sort of like spy game. Hi,
different
Deutsch.
dumpsters we've got around the town.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. I hope you don't mind all the birds. Pretty busy here.
You get used to them, I guess.
I have found another spy. I mean, I found someone someone like you.
As you say that, remind them the assistant is always watching. It can't hear you, but there is a camera that turns on its normal, regular, like up in the distance in the corner, and just goes like, brr, brr,
Okay.
brr, brr, as you correct yourself from saying spy to someone like you.
Future reference, let's try and use the euphemism for my occupation before just saying it in the future. But what,
Point
who,
taken.
where, and how did you find this person?
I wouldn't come to you, Deutsch, if I don't feel good about hand on heart. I don't feel good about you being here. But we're both looking out for each other, and I think that this is probably information that I ought to bring to you. I was opening a flower shipment in a crate, and there was a man in the crate where the flowers should be. He was wearing what looked like, and Paris describes packed colors or like packed armor without really being able to like. I don't know that Paris has seen enough packed soldiers to be like, he was wearing packed uniform or whatever.
Yeah.
But this would clue you in straight away. Is that one of yours, or is that the other one?
Oh, how do I want to play this? I think she just says, "Thank you for bringing this to my attention. It'll be taken care of."
What does that mean, Deutsch?
Hand on shoulder. It'll be taken care of. Means you don't have to worry about anything.
Rapidly realizing that he's out of his depth and being scared to push the spy, but feeling like he ought to push the spy. He's not one of yours, is he? That's a... Oh, fuck. What are you gonna do?
Paris, the less you know, the better. I'm trying to help you out here, man. Plausible deniability and all that, right?
Well, that's not the way we do things here. That's not...
Yeah, nobody here seems to ever want to do things the easy way or the way I want to do it. Crosses arms and huffs while birds fly by.
Look, don't do anything rash. When you meet them, I'll tell you where they are. When you meet them, I want to be there.
There's no other way you're telling me where they are, is there?
No.
You're a real pain in the ass sometimes, Paris, but yeah, sure. She's fully like, okay, I just kill this guy when Paris leaves.
Wow.
Her job.
No, that's
She's
fair.
just assuming that's one of her 3 targets too.
Oh shit! Yeah, she's been told that she has 3 targets on board.
Yeah.
Right. But not given detail on who they are.
I think it's like names and faces, but that's
Okay,
it.
okay. But you don't have this
This
person's
could
name or face, so it
legitimately-
could be.
This could be one of Paris's
Yeah.
targets.
Easy.
Yeah. What was that question, Austin?
We don't, you have not yet seen this
Yeah.
new spy, so you couldn't say for sure until you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, to be clear, we don't even know if this person is a spy. This person described themselves as they fled the war.
Mm-hmm.
They might be a spy, but they were introduced, at least by the sort of the narratorial voice, as a defector.
Right.
Okay.
But Paris, having only encountered Principality spies on the Brink so far, was immediately like, okay.
Oh boy, that's just a guy. And you told me that was a spy, and and it's just a guy.
It's just a defector, yeah.
Oh, Paris, why? I don't know why I'm rhyming now. I'm just. I started thinking it was funny.
That seems like a scene to me.
I was gonna say, is there anything else? Because
No.
I'm good.
That's it.
No, I think that's the
Okay,
scene.
cool.
I would love a scene with Mustard. Maybe just at your. Do you have like official title or a rank or anything?
That's a good question.
Like, are you one of like 50 people who does this, or are you like in charge of a certain division or something?
I mean, Jack, did you have someone in? Did you have like an amount of people in mind for the Brink Proxy?
I think it is like 40 to 50 people.
Okay, sure. Then yeah, I guess I could be like a lead. I
Okay.
could be like a key holder, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think you just get. I mean, I'll just tell you I'll tell you what the questions I want to answer with this scene, and I want to figure out how to best set this up, which is, I want you to keep Coruscant 17 off my back, who's the head of security, and to do that, I need someone at the Brink Proxy to make sure my stuff doesn't get flagged or doesn't get on the top of the inbox, but is on the bottom. Do you know what I mean? And so I want to lean on you as like, you know, a pop star has shown up to your office. You know what I mean? So like, I think I just show up to Brink Proxy HQ, which I don't know what that looks like. What's the interior of, like, what's the waiting room look like there?
I guess it's probably one of those where like it's like just one floor with like a bunch of desks set up. Like it's not
Okay.
a very like this is like a rec center operation and not like an office
Okay.
in my head, but like so probably like a couple stairs by the door or a couple chairs by the door and
Okay.
then like this sort of deep room where it's like people have their different stations set up or
Okay.
whatever, you know what I mean?
Then I'm definitely there in like, you know, big sunglasses on, you know, a mask on my face, like a you know, a face mask, but like my hair is still filled with the glowy nails that I wear all the time. Anybody who, you know, there are other people in the room going like, I think that's Dan, that's 3T. I'm pretty sure that's 3T. And I've just put in like a generic request to talk to the first lead that's open. You know what I mean? Just assuming I'll be able to like put a little spice on it. You know what I mean? Get access just through my natural charm, whoever it is, as long as it's not this
Sure.
particular person I don't like.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just waiting for my number to get called, you know?
Yeah, number 47.
Oh, that's me. And I like stand up and like, you know, adjust my hat or whatever, my hood. And I come over and I was like, hey, do we have is there a room or do I just talk to you right here?
We could talk here, but we can go over to my desk if you'd like.
I like peek back. How many people are around your desk?
There's probably like it's like two desks together,
Okay.
and there's like someone on the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's do your desk. One person.
Okay,
That's
cool.
fine. Head back.
Welcome to the Brink Proxy.
Yeah, it's my first time being here. Y'all are so busy.
Oh, well, there's a lot of issues to handle, so.
I bet. And in a way, I just want to see if I can like help take one off the plate a little bit from y'all.
Oh, you're thinking of volunteering? You should have said over there. I would have.
Oh no,
Oh,
not so much. Can I sit? Is it okay to?
Yeah.
So I like remove the mask a little bit. And I go, my name's Telios. It's nice to meet you. What was your name? I didn't catch it.
Oh, I'm wait.
I have that effect on
my
people.
character's
It's Mustard. I see the name tag
Yes,
now.
Yes, Mustard.
I love that. That's great. Mustard red.
Thank you. Parents did a good job on that one.
Yeah, they knocked that one out the park. So I'm a musician. I swear I'm not trying to sell you anything. There's someone who works here, who I don't know what his deal is, but he really hates me. And I don't like. I bet if you looked at the files, you would see something about me, Helios Tanager. And I just wanted to know if there was a way to make it so he wasn't so on my case. You could like flag my profile or like put a little post-it note on it or just like, because I'm just an artist. And in my mind, this station, one of the things it does is it brings art to the forefront. Twilight Mirage is all about art. It's all about expression. And, it's hard to get to concerts. It's hard to, I'm trying to build not just a fan base, but a movement. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah. Movements. Yes. Well, the process here would be that you would. Do you feel like you're being like harassed or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not just
okay.
me, but my fans.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Well.
People are being followed. I know people have been, there are people who put up flyers and stuff for me and they get scared away. It's fine to put up a flyer to say, oh, end of cycle is coming, but it's not enough to say you can't put up a flyer that says, hey, come to the show. 3T's going to talk about how important it is that we get involved and punch the principality in the face. I'm sorry. I'm just a little.
No. Passion is always okay in this office.
I saw the sign. Yeah, I saw that it said that out front. That's why I felt comfortable.
There's like there can't be like one of those like engraved wood. Like she's not that much of a dork, but like to have that on her desk.
She might be. I don't know.
There's a bird perched on it.
Uh-huh.
Well, the usual procedure is that you and anyone else that you feel has been mistreated would submit a form, and a third party here at Brink Proxy would look into this person's behavior and speak to them about it. And we would settle it that way. We would have like an internal investigation,
Is that like that's the usual way of doing it? But like, is there like a expedited type situation?
Well, is this time sensitive?
Yeah.
Because there is,
it really is. It really is because end of cycle, right? Plus we have the oranges going out soon, right? And a lot of these people are only here for the oranges. I don't want to, or like part of that process, I don't want them leaving thinking, oh, the Brink is, a police state. Do you know what I mean? Can I spend my token to sway audience into impassioned action as a strong move? I think you can always say no to that because it's your character. But that's my pitch. My pitch is I'm trying to. I don't know that your audience. You're not a fan. You're certainly not a fervent supporter.
no
Ready to act. I could also be diffusing a tense situation with my humor or beauty. I'm very hot. All
It
the
did almost seem like she didn't know you.
100%. I don't know that she does.
Well, yeah, I might. I should know. I'm like youngish, right?
You also watch everything that's happening.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Also like probably into pop culture and that like I think the like we want the Brink to be, full of art is part of
Yes.
her.
Probably see me on whatever the Brink's like. I think that this is someone who's just had his first late night TV performance. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like when Tyler went on whatever 12 years ago and everyone was like, yo, what the fuck is happening? That's the era we're at for 3T.
I feel like I should do a coin flip because
That's fun.
I think saying, you know what, the Brink to be a police state is like like a very charged thing to say to the character that I'm playing. So do you want heads or tails?
I want heads.
Okay.
You have a literal coin in your hand?
No, I'm doing Google's
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, sorry. That was a tails.
Fuck. Okay. That's how it goes.
Okay, the scene isn't over yet, but
That's true.
You only introduce yourself as 3T, right?
No, I said Telios. I gave you my government name.
Okay.
I mean, my government name is just Telios Triton Tanager. It is just TTT. So.
Well, Mr. Taninger, I'm very sympathetic to what is important to you with this issue, but we do have these systems for a reason, and I can't give you preferential treatment. You see how many people are here. The form does have a space to say that this is to be expedited, and we can have someone look at it, probably tomorrow. But
I think I like lean back, but in the way that sometimes leaning back is like leaning forward, where like what I'm doing is dropping the professional posture. Right. Yeah. It's like I'm unbuttoning my top button in terms of like, all right, let me be direct. I'm going to ask a player, how could I get your character to join my cause? If you share an approach, you get a token. And I think I straight up just look at you, and I say, Mustard, I get that I touched a nerve, but I think that that's partly what good art does, and it's what I try to do. And I didn't mean to malign you or what you do here. But when I touch a nerve, to me that means that I hit something. I hit something close. And is there something that I could do to help you? Period. Help you. Or to help explain my position better. How could I get your character to join my cause? You don't have to say yes to this. You could say, no, I don't want to share an approach. But if you do share an approach,
sure.
you'll gain it. I'll gain a token. Or you'll gain a token. I will not.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there's like a win-win situation here of being like, well, I also want Corson to be focused on this other thing, so I could also do my shady.
Speaking of shady, I can make a move when I witness a shady deal.
Oh yeah.
And so I want to know when in here the deal is witnessed to the point where I can do an aspect move. I don't want to.
I mean,
I don't know if the line is you've offered kind of a shady deal.
Yeah, I think it's if it's taken up, right?
Okay.
I don't know. I think that we've not talked about the person across the other side of the desk yet, but there's probably a witness to this conversation, right?
Yeah.
I guess I don't want to extend the scene, but the way that we've set it up, we could do like, well, we could talk about this later sort of thing. And like talk about it in like the bar or whatever. But this is your aspect triggering and not your
yes, that is
triggering.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Or my
from Keith. That is the scum and villainy aspect. What's your thing? What move are you looking to take, Keith?
I was bouncing between offer something rare or illicit at a ruinously high price.
Oh my God.
And I was thinking that potentially you could have your problem solved in a sort of not strictly legal way, as long as you fork up the cash, or that the is it a security guard? That's who's like bugging
Yeah,
you?
it's the head of security. It's Coruscant
Okay.
17, the head of security.
The head of security may be taking this as like a threat against his job,
Right.
and deciding to threaten a resident's life or livelihood with violence.
Just like stomping out in the middle of this and like chasing me away, having been watching this.
Or, on your way home.
Right.
Oh, sure.
That's kind
or
of
like when the paperwork goes through and he sees like, oh, someone's put a complaint against me. Oh, it was 3T.
right. I'm not putting in any paperwork. I want less paperwork, Keith. 3T wants there to be.
It's not your job to put in or out
Oh,
paperwork.
that's true.
This
That's
is
true.
This
That's
is
true.
on Allie.
Yeah.
This is on Mustard Red.
Yeah, and I think some of the like compromise that she would make here is like, well, fill out this form so we can do the investigation or whatever, but if you tell me if you have like an upcoming event or whatever, I can make sure that this person is like stationed somewhere else, for instance.
All right.
think
Yeah, I
that's
have a
the-
show this weekend coming up. The big one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's, I'm going back to my roots. I'm going back to Pushies. Have you been to Pushies?
Oh yes, I love pushies.
One of my first shows, well, me and Knife back then, which I don't even talk about that. But it was the two of us on there, very intimate. And not to get, things with display were intimate at the time also, but not on the stage. That would be too far for me. But we were doing a show, and that was kind of the start of my whole thing. I kind of realized up there that it was time for us to go different ways, and so I'm going back there. I'm going to do a show with some people, and I think it's going to be a big deal. So we're shooting the whole thing, filming the whole thing. So that's the one. If we can get that by this weekend, so that no harassment and whatnot, that would be great.
Well, between you and me, I think that you should be able to do this show of yours while we have more people at the station.
Gotcha. This makes sense.
So I could look in to see what my options are, but harassment is a very serious deal, and we don't want people on the brink experiencing this. So if you could do this, if you could fill out this form and have all of your fans who have experienced this as well come here and submit forms as well.
Wait, can they submit it online? Can they submit it through the mesh?
Oh, they sure can.
Oh, that's great.
You're gonna get mobbed.
Jump cut. What's good, everybody? I got a simple request for you today. There's a link in the bio. If you just in the response to this one, there's a link. You just go through and fill that out. You let them know we want an unharassed concert, no cameras, no security. This is about art and expression and freedom. You fill that out. You submit that. Thousands of people.
No security.
YouTube autoplay next video. Brink Proxy is looking for emergency volunteers.
Is this your answer to how can I get your character to join my cause, or did we just not answer that one? Are you not getting a token for that? So I raised that, and then we got distracted with other stuff.
Oh, I guess yeah. I guess I'm joining the cause in the I think the like admission of like, oh, I think that your art is important.
Okay, so
And
the
I
way
want to
to
help
get
you in this like under the table way, but also
Right.
she's gonna be like, dude, you have to follow the rules.
Right. Okay, so
Hey,
the
follow
way
the rules.
the way to get you to join my cause is to show you that I'm willing to fill out forms. If
Right.
that's the answer. Okay, yes, take a
Oh
token.
my god.
Take a token.
Sure.
Great.
Well, I guess the impassioned plea of being like, I want to do this now while
Right.
right, yeah. That was the thing that won the argument. But
Yeah, the way the lores work is like it's to you straight up. Is there a way I can get what I want from the situation, basically?
oh, sure.
You see what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah.
So in this case, you take a token. You can just take this one because I'm going to say that getting all of my audience to submit forms is sway an audience to impassioned action. So that jump cut, I'll just drop this right into Mustard's token pool.
I'll take
Oh, you
it.
already got one. Okay, yeah, there we go. I think that's my scene. I'll move my thing over. The third thing that we can do that we haven't done yet is read the station, which is sort of similar to, if you remember, in Quiet Year. Quiet Year, the like hold a discussion type thing.
Mhm.
You choose a topic, you go around in a circle, and everyone weighs in basically, and you can speak either as your character or as like a class of people. You can say, here is how the smugglers think. Here is how the gardeners think. Here is how, the musicians think, or the artists or something.
And were those both major scenes?
Those are both major scenes just now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
A minor scene is like what we did last time, which was like very brief little vignette,
And what you just described, that's read the station?
That's read the station. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, and there's all the tokens. Look at that. There's
Yeah.
so much here.
I know. It's
It's
it's a lot.
literally easy to get lost.
It literally is. Correct, for sure. Move this board out of the way. They're not using that. So who is up? Either Mustard or Deutsch or Cheel.
Yeah, I kind of want to set up a scene in Pushies, but now I'm like undecided on like what the intention would be.
What is an open question for us right now and what's going on this station? We have 3 threats, hundreds of military starships nearby, residents disappearing into the cult, and a shipment of blue oranges pushing the Brink to the brink. I'm going to zero in on one of those and highlight it, or raise a question about how people are responding to it, or develop one of the ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. I have an idea for a scene, but it's in the exact same place as the last scene, so I don't want to do it.
We've done that before, haven't
Yeah.
we? James?
Let's see. I'm also just trying to remember like where everyone like hangs out.
I mean, the good thing is we're early enough in this that a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff hasn't been defined.
100%. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And when we frame a scene, can we? I know that it said to leave space for a character from someone's aspect to show up. Can you specifically frame a scene?
Yeah.
That includes
With a minor character, or
yeah, just like you. Can I just
Totally.
be like, oh, can I have a character that represents
100%.
the unaffiliated?
Imagine you were a GM here. Like, truly,
Yeah.
you can put whatever you want in the scene, as long as if another player, again, Allie does not own the unaffiliated. Anybody can pick up the unaffiliated when they have an idea for what to do when someone is dealing with their friends and neighbors. It's just marked here because it's like easy to start with one that you're paying attention to, you know?
Okay. Then I have a big ask then. Can I have a scene with me, with the monitor, and with 2 people from the unaffiliated?
Sure.
Wait, who was the before the monitor? Who was the...
Oh, me.
Oh, yeah. So you and Mustard and then 2 random unaffiliated people?
Yeah.
What type of people?
I'm looking for people who are complaining about the new weirdness on the station. This is specifically about the cult. This is people who maybe their friends or family has gone missing. Maybe their friends or family have shown back up and are being weird. I know that I've been hearing about people harassing truckers because the truckers come to pushies and are complaining about like weirdos. So and
poor Mustard just getting all sorts of notes about harassment today. Yeah, that makes sense though. I can be one of these randos unless Sylvie and Jack want to be.
I'm happy to be a rando. I'm always happy to be a rando.
Yeah, go for it. Austin and Sylvie randos.
Okay.
And this is happening at Pushies? Where is this happening?
This is I could have invited I'll say that I've invited Mustard to Pushies. There's like an assemblage of citizens or residents at Pushies, so as not to like have to mob / wait in line. At what Allie, what is the name of your like office?
Oh, the Brink Proxy is the name of the organization.
Brink Proxy, right?
Yeah.
And they seem very pretty accessible. They seem very secretive in the setup game, and now we've got house calls and DMV lines.
Yeah, right now they've also got like a load of 3T stands in there as well. So it makes sense that it's like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah. This is maybe even like Pushy trying to go down there to complain, and like there's a line out the door. I'm not dealing with that. I'm calling. I can do a house call.
Real quick, Austin. You don't have to decide this now, but I would love to know later what 3T's equivalent of like army is. Like what are your friends?
Oh, that's great. That's a good question. Okay, I'll think on this.
I'm sorry, 3T's version of what?
Oh boy.
The BTS army, the Beyonce Hive.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Swifties.
Swifties, yeah.
The Orbits, obviously. Anyway.
Stan Luna.
The 4th T.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think on it because I need it to be good. Anyway.
So I show up at my appointment to Pushies on time, perhaps early. I come in, I see people are still sort of mingling. I order a drink. I stand at the front of the room. Hi, everybody. I'm here from the Brink Proxy, and I heard that you wanted to discuss some issues that you've been having. So let's just talk about it.
Oh, okay, great.
My name is Mustard Red. I have been volunteering with the Brink Proxy for about 3 years now. I'm excited to help.
This is a volunteer position?
Oh, yeah. Do any of you want to recruit? I have some volunteer forms here.
No.
If anybody's like to
No.
No.
It's very rewarding. But perhaps we'll talk about it anyway.
already.
Well,
Something happened to my cousin?
We're at my job, and something's happening to cousins.
Something's happened to my walk to my job, and I don't like it so much.
Well, then what's happening?
All the lights are weird?
Weirdos everywhere.
There's crowds by the trucks, and people are disappearing.
What happened to my cousin?
Well, we have been aware of some of the disappearances and the reappearances of citizens of the Brink, and we've been looking into it. But has any of your family seemed sick, or would you say that they're like?
Is weird a sort of sick?
It can be. I guess it depends. In what way have they been weird?
My cousin
Talking about weird stuff.
Yeah, being interested in weird stuff.
My cousin
Well,
Toaster doesn't says that he's not allowed to talk to me anymore because I don't have the same amount of belief. And I said, "How do you measure belief?" And he said, "With a little device they put on my arm." And I said, "What's that?" And they said, "You'd have to fill out the paperwork and come to a meeting." And I said, "No." I said, "No, I'm not doing that. That's dangerous. I don't know. A meeting with who?"
I'm taking notes.
Thank you.
Can you describe the device on your cousin's arm?
No, my cousin said they couldn't tell me what the device looked like unless I signed the paperwork and went to a meeting. And I said, "No, I will not do that. I don't believe in meetings."
That's a smart. Well,
I don't think it's right that people are going around putting things on arms.
And again, just so that we're clear, this is not a meeting. This is an assemblage.
Thank you. I appreciate the clarity.
well, to make another thing clear, I just want to say that putting devices on arms is allowed on the Brink, so that is not actionable on its own. We also don't like fix relationships. I think that maybe you could open your heart up to your cousin. But this is a concern. I don't want to
You
dismiss.
don't. That's very
Sounds like you're
rude.
dismissing.
Every time I talk to you guys, it's we can't fix relationships. What are you good for?
You understand that dozens of people have been reported missing, and then they show up. I get that most of them show back up, but we went from no one ever disappearing to now dozens of people disappearing. No one ever used to disappear.
There has been an increase of disappearances.
Tell
We
them
don't even
the
know-
percent. Tell them the percent increase.
There's a percent?
Yeah, there's a percent. Do you need me to tell them?
Oh, I hate when figures are involved.
There has been a 22% increase.
22
No. 22 is not very much.
from depends on what the previous number was.
It was very low. Went from very low to very high.
There are 22 disappearances a day? That's what I just heard. That's the fact I'm going to repeat.
There's been 22 disappearances a day. That's a 16,000% increase in disappearances.
Okay.
That number's so big I can't even understand it.
What happened to my cousin? You don't even know the name of the group.
Well, no. And do you have any contact information for your cousin?
I said their name is Toaster.
Okay. Yes.
Toaster Roaster.
Toaster Roaster. Okay, that
Toaster.
narrows it
With a
down.
W. Roaster.
Roaster.
Roaster. Got it. Well, we have been looking into this cult issue. But
Cult?
Wait a second.
Whoa,
Wait a second.
Wait a second. You know that it's a cult?
Hey, everybody.
wait, no.
Mustard
I just-
says there's a cult. And they're kidnapping, and she's trying to play it down.
Well,
It kidnapped
Could we-
16,000 of us.
could I speak? Could I perhaps speak to you not as a representative of the Brink Proxy for a moment, because they don't call it a cult. But
Brief pause here. The power goes out. Please continue, Ellie.
It's the cult. It's the cult. It's the
They're
cult.
coming.
stop saying cult so loudly.
It's the cult.
It's the cult.
Stop saying the word cult.
It's
no,
the
what if it was the
CULT.
Okay, we'll just call it the C word.
Okay.
CUL Tuesday.
Oh no. Don't we have emergency power?
Little emergency power lights flicker on from the generator. They're not enough to light the room. They're little golden, dark orange neon bars that run alongside the bar and up and down the walls. You can
It
now
sounds
see
like the
each
electricity
other,
was responding to what you said.
but the vibe in the room is like way more intimate than it was previously.
Is there a
Maybe I
symbol?
don't need to fix my relations.
Is there a symbol for devotion, Sylvie?
Oh, I've been thinking about this. I think I definitely wanted like a shield or something in there. Maybe it's like
Ooh.
okay, hold on. It's like a shield with two hands like holding each other, but they're like cuffed together as well.
I feel
What I got off the top of my head.
they're cuffed together. Oh my god! Can you write that down somewhere? Can you write that down in the notes section of the?
yeah.
I think that there is a use visions to clarify or confuse here.
Yeah,
Where that
absolutely.
symbol must have, like, the lights flicker on in some sort of way that, like, maybe it's like it's like a network, not a network, but like a wall of LED lights, and they flicker on in a way that, like, shows that symbol. You know, it's like up on the stage, behind the stage, there's just like, 1,000 lights from whatever the last act was here. Or maybe it's setting up for 3T's upcoming show, and it's in the handcuffed shield devotion symbol. Also, they're called the Troublemakers. Jack. That's what 3T's fans are called. What's
that's
good,
bad.
Troublemakers?
Yeah.
We're going to be at Pushy's this Friday. Tickets are rare, but I guarantee you there's not going to be any security, and there's going to be enough room to stand and get into some trouble.
And if you say on Twitter, even just passingly, that 3T's work is powerful, but maybe lacks a little nuance sometimes, your mentions are going to be ruined.
As a reminder to people, yes, as a reminder to people in the chat, and people listening, the devotion is one of the other names for the lambent strand, the glowing thread, weaving every life together in a great tapestry, that we also said was something weird specific to what's happening on the station right now. The example that I gave during the first session was that normally there is like technology that stops working when the Brink is this far out of the Mirage or at the edge of the Mirage because the perennial wave starts to get in. But for whatever reason, that stuff has been shielded by something. I did not intend for that to have a great synergy with your shield with two hands holding each other, but there it is. So,
I've had the shield thing for months now,
Love
so
it.
that just works out great.
Interesting. Funny that you would be thinking about devotion this early.
Weird. Did I let that slip? It's fine. Let's keep going.
Is that the scene, Keith? I feel like that might be. Do you want more?
That's the scene.
Things are bad with the cult, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like progress is slow.
Or mustard.
Poor mustard.
I would like to have everybody write down their names and the names of people that they know who have interacted with the cult, just to have these names.
Certainly, bureaucracy will save us.
Was it toaster roaster with a double?
Toaster roaster with a W. Thank you very much. That was my cousin's name.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, not my uncle, cousin Smuzzin.
Right.
Yeah.
Cousin Smuzzin. All right.
With a W.
I don't like wasn't.
Wasn't.
Feels like a verb. Wasn't? Anyway.
All right. Mustard or Lament?
Sorry, someone in the chat called Millie Catholic, and I need to set the record straight.
Wow.
I'm still trying to figure mine out. Specific, but we could talk through it if Ali, you're still trying to find. You also did just like feature in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
So like, if you need a little break to think about your own framing scene, I can take over here for a minute. I feel like we got to do the meeting with. Is it too early to do the meeting with this proposed spy?
No, I feel like that's
that's kind of where I felt like my story was going. I think. I mean, Jack, you can help me out with this because Paris is setting the meeting up, right? But I was thinking, honestly, we might maybe we set this at Pushies as well. I was kind of picturing Deutsch's like undercover like bartending job to be at Pushies. But I also feel like picking a public location for it, so definitely both of them are spies, definitely 2 spies. It won't turn into like a shootout or anything.
I think Paris is also specifically Paris is concerned that Deutsch is just going to kill this person and be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
So has tried to pick a public location, whether that is at the at Pushies or at the public baths at the spa.
The public baths has real fucking like the Irishman vibes or something. I don't know. We could do that.
I'm up for whatever. Public place, good. Lots of people around.
Does anybody want to be this guy accused of being a spy or assumed to be a spy?
I'll happily be any NPC anybody ever needs.
Cool.
What's Jack? Tell me about what this defector looks like.
They
and feels like what the vibe has
presumably
been.
Now they are no longer in a uniform. We've established that Paris can't provide for them. Although part of the way I'm reading that is Paris doesn't have the ability to provide for them, which is why they have looped Deutsch in so quickly as like, I need some help. But Paris has given them just sort of like a Brink outfit, like something that someone would wear. In my head, and you're welcome to inflect this anyway as the scene progresses, Austin, I think this person is a defector. They were afraid. They fled from a battle in which a lot of their people...
Columnar or Apostolician? Usually they're packed, so...
Yeah, they're packed. Which do you think is more interesting? Who do you feel more excited to play?
I could play either pretty easily, I feel.
Let's say they are from Stel Columnar.
Okay.
And let's say that they... their ship was shot down, and through a series of like a escape chaining into another escape, smuggled their way onto a transport that got them onto the Brink.
Who's this? What is this? What is their name?
They don't have a name yet.
They do. Their name is 1 second. Almost there. Their first name is Knighton. Knighton. And I just need one more thing. Their last name is... Well, I need more than that. Knighton Reach. Reach is their last name.
W-R-E.
R-E-A-C-H. Knighton Reach. Purple shell with gold and white coloring on, not flare. What's the word I'm looking for?
Detailing.
Yeah, detailing. They have one of those faces that's like robot faces that's like a sheet of glass behind which you can just see computer stuff, wiring and boards and cables and lights. They have RGB in their face. I think that they probably have like a war mask or war helm thing that covers that up, or it's made of like bulletproof glass or something. I think they probably cover it up normally. In fact, maybe you can see that, like, normally you can't see in past this glass, and there's supposed to be metal there, but that's been torn away in a fight, and has not been replaced yet. They use they, them.
Paris, do you... I was going to ask who arrives first. I think that if I do arrive first, I wait outside until I see someone else go in.
I'm definitely there first. I'm there first. I'm seated, not in the bath, but like on on a bench. My hands like not in a prayer, but like fingers interlinked, looking down. My one foot tapping, not tapping, but my knee bouncing up and down nervously.
And then I'll be there. Subsequently, I am in the bath. It's like a large communal sort of hot tub public bath thing. I have my shirt off, and you can see that my body is becoming plastic. Is like breaking directly from flesh and blood into like ferns.
All right, I think I'm getting there third, and I think it's just like, wow, Paris, I'm glad to see you got comfortable. Is this your friend?
Yes, take a seat.
Who is this?
Nighton, this is Deutsch. They are somebody who I believe has experience with. Paris is looking for the words in a public place.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, well, how can you help me?
Well, I mean, it depends on, things like what you're doing here.
I'm just
what you're looking for.
I have to get into the Mirage. I think it's the only safe place.
That sounds pretty urgent.
Can you get me there?
I mean, it could take some time, but it's not it's not out of my capabilities.
Paris shifts uncomfortably. The idea of getting further into the Mirage is something that seems like they would not feel happy with Deutsch doing.
Deutsch is also lying. I don't think
Yes.
that they have the ability to get into the Mirage right now. I think they are trying to figure out if this person is a spy by talking to them.
Right.
You can get into the Mirage, Deutsch?
I've got my ways.
What ways?
Well, if I told you, they wouldn't be my ways, now would they? They'd be our ways, and I don't want to share. Big smiles, by the way, right now. Just unsettlingly friendly expression on her face.
Paris is not buying it.
Neither is Nighton. But Nighton's too nervous to even say or do anything.
Not buying the friendly smile or not buying the has ways?
Not buying the friendly smile, and also recognizes that, correct me if I'm wrong here, Austin, Paris could get deeper into the Mirage as a citizen of the Mirage on the Brink, right? Like, we can head back towards Choir if
the Mirage or the Brink will get there, right? 6 months from now, it will be as deep in the Mirage, or a half a year from now, it'll be as deep in the Mirage as it is currently far away from the Mirage.
Yeah, I think something worth saying here is that Deutsch doesn't even know how, she's getting off the Brink. Like, the extraction has not been a plan yet, and again, her handler's not in the picture anymore. I'm trying to think of a question that she'd ask. I want a question about the fleets near, like the ship nearby.
Yeah.
Ships nearby. Because that feels like both a very, a pressing thing at the time, but also, did you come from one of those? How exactly did you get on here?
I was part of the 42nd stellar unit, and it was a fight with, I don't know, Kesh, Deo. They boarded, and they took the ship, and I got to an escape pod, and they took that, and they took me prisoner. And 2 weeks later, I found an opportunity, and I stole a little ship, and I'm here now. I'd rather not go over all the details. I'd rather not
Sounds
go over
very
the
stressful.
details.
I understand. I think like, oh no, because you're doing the hand thing, so maybe it's like a gentle hand on the knee that's like bouncing a bunch.
Yeah. I stop it
Um,
completely in a way that's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm being touched and I don't want to be punched, and so I'm going to remain completely still now that someone's hands are on me.
I think it just like lingers for a second, and it's like, that sounds like a really tough time. And then like she pulls back and is like, how about this? I'll start looking into things to get you out of here quicker than the Brink schedule. And then maybe we can have, when you're feeling up to it, a bit more of a chat about what happened with you in the 42nd. Yeah?
Yeah, anything, so long as we can start working towards getting me somewhere safe.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sounds great. Um, out of character question, I don't think money is like a object, like a object for our characters, right?
No. Unless you want to not have money. Do you know what I mean? Or want to be able to...
I want her to specifically be giving this guy money for a place to stay. But like not enough for it to be like you can get out of somewhere where I like enough money to where like she knows where they could afford with it, you know?
Yep. They sure. So that's and it's weird, right? Because like Brink Proxy is supposed to make sure everybody has room, right? Bread, water, and rest. But I think that might be a different thing than private quarters, necessarily.
Yeah, I feel like the way I've been picturing that is that there's like a lot of like free communal hostel spaces,
totally.
like HOSTEL, not hostile. So this would be like get you somewhere private where you can hide away. While I go and see if you're one of the people I have to murder. That last bit's implied, or not implied. That last bit is unimplied.
Yeah.
That last bit is only to me.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you both.
No problem. You take care of yourself.
I just kind of gets up and begins to walk away.
Actually, once Deutsch leaves, can I have a moment with Nightmare?
Sure. Yes. Thank you so much. This was more than I expected. I'll be honest.
I don't think you need to thank me. I think that was more intense than I thought it was going to be.
I will tell you my ability to tell what's tense and what's not is a little out of whack.
No, I feel this is on me. I shouldn't have put you through that. I guess I thought they're the only person on the station that I know that has anything linked to anything that's going out on PALISADE, and I thought that maybe they might be able to help. But
wait, what do they do? How are they connected?
Oh,
I thought they were just a fixer. I thought they were just a person who... They're not... Who did you connect me with, Paris? Who was that?
well, do I know that you are specifically... Do I know what side you're on, Sylvi, or do I just know that you're a spy?
I'm trying to figure out we wrote it down that you know my true identity, which at the very least to me means you know that I'm affiliated with the Curtain. I don't think you know that I am like specifically a killer or anything.
And I don't know that your handler is dead or whatever.
Yeah, you don't know. You just know that my name is Lament. I'm from the Curtain, and I work for the Curtain.
I think that
anyway.
Knighton, Paris tilts his head back. This is the opposite of 3T sitting back in the chair. This is Paris sitting back in the bath, just like, oh God. He says, I think she calls her army the Curtain, or she works for some sort of army called the Curtain.
All of the lights on the inside of my face turn off.
Oh God.
I have to go. I put the money back. I give her money to you. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. And just takes off in a sprint. Almost slips on some water from the bath. Finds their way through and then disappears into the station.
What's the move that I took that gave me that token? It was commit to provide for someone you can't support.
Ah, yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, I was trying to do let someone struggle rather than break your cover, which I guess I kind of did, but I don't know.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah, you didn't break your cover.
You didn't break your cover.
Okay, I'm taking a token then.
Bless the Mirage, thinking that the Curtain is an army. Rather than the galaxy's most unpleasant organization of spies.
Oh, God. At this point, it also is both in some ways, right? Yeah, that worked. That was great.
It's a full faction in the Principality.
Yes, I've been actually thinking about them doing a rebranding soon, so that's a thing that could happen.
Exciting.
Yeah.
When we left, we can spoil Partisan, right? In these.
Yeah. Yes.
By the time we finished Partisan, had they elected a new Gabardine yet?
I don't think not that we'd seen. We didn't know who was in charge of.
Definitely have now.
Yeah, we have no idea who was in charge of the Curtain. I believe at the end, I don't remember who was the representative in like the big fleet battle at the end of that. God, how many episodes did Partisan have? I knew this last. I got it right.
40-something.
Yeah, it's 47. I think it's 47. I went to I typed Partisan 45 because I was pretty sure that would get me the dossier on the final arc, and it absolutely did. So I don't think we saw a de facto leader of the Curtain. We saw a number of other people tied to them, but mostly we saw packed folks like Ziphion. So, anyway.
Ziphion rules. We're going to see more of them.
I hope so. We'll see. There's lots of stuff in Partisan that we might just not see. Because it's silly sometimes to be like, and then everybody who was over there is here now, too. You know? Yeah. Anyway. That was a fun scene. Good scene.
Yeah, I guess for the final scene, I was thinking that I might be able. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I did a weird thing with Mira where I was like trying to move it and then it just like kept going as if I like slid a puck across the board, but it was my camera just moving away from our entire game. Anyway, I was thinking because this has been like a mustard heavy arc, I can narrate a minor scene of her like sitting in the Brink Proxy office, like going over the like scheduling thing to get the security guard off of T's face, but also like like eating like noodles or something at her desk or whatever, and just watching like a live feed of Toaster Woaster. Toaster Oaster.
Yeah. What's Toaster even up to? What's going on with Toaster?
I had a detail.
Sure.
They keep checking their pulse.
Oh, that's
checking
so
their
good.
Pulse on their wrists, checking the pulse by like feeling it in their throat. Going about their day, checking their pulse.
Not going for a run and then checking.
Or
good question.
Or matter of factly.
I don't know, Allie. I feel like Mustard is the queen of spotting people doing weird things on security footage.
I feel it like it's probably like it feels a little compulsion-y, but
Okay.
there's like a calmness about it, like as if it's like happening on a schedule.
Okay.
Um,
So this is not someone who's noticed that something's weird with their pulse, so they keep checking it. It's someone who's like, oh, gotta check my pulse.
yeah, I think that's accurate. I think
Yeah.
that's how I would describe that. Yeah.
Okay.
That works.
And then that's a full round.
That's a
right?
full round. Do we think we've solved any of these threats?
No.
Okay.
No.
We're supposed to be solving these. Now,
Well,
hang
they're
on.
resolving, not solving.
No, I know.
Resolving, I guess, is what I should have said.
Me solve problems?
Mhm.
Never.
That sounds the wrong way around.
All right. Well, new round. Who's I mean, there's no like big end of round thing that we have to worry about. You know what I mean? We just keep rolling. So and
Okay.
everybody gets to act again. And we don't
I
have to
have
keep
a-
order. So yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. And the question that I would like to explore is, why does Mustard Red want a magazine that kills people?
That's a really good
Great question.
Is this something you would be interested in exploring, Allie, or should we look for another scene?
Yeah, when I had suggested the magazine before it killed people, I was just like, oh, this is a character trait she would be interested in, like fashion. But I was thinking since like maybe there's like photos of someone from the Brink in the magazine.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
and,
Let's
like-
play this scene. Let's play this scene out. I think I would like to meet Mustard
Sure.
in the break room at Brink Proxy, where I am restocking a vending machine. And on seeing Mustard, I just take like 2 drinks and 2 snacks out of the vending machine and are like, hey, have you got 5 minutes?
Extremely valuable job perk, by the way.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Busy day here. Who are all these teens?
Oh, well, we had some issues with harassment with one of our security guards. It's very tragic.
Oh, security guards have been harassing people?
Apparently.
Fucking
You
Brink
know, all these
Proxy's not what it
kids-
used to be, am I right?
Yeah. All these kids are just trying to have a good time. And apparently, someone on our staff has been, giving them a hard time.
You know who it is?
Yeah, it's I'm gonna scroll up a little bit to find out who it was.
Coruscant Seventine.
It's Corson Sementine, head of security.
Seventine. I was just refilling his vending machine in his office. He seemed like he wasn't doing any harassing, but that guy, yeah, I've never had a good feeling about that guy.
See, you give someone their own vending machine, and it separates them from the rest of the people.
Look, I'm not here to throw blame around Mustard, but I have to remember that Carson Gets a Vending Machine was a Brink Proxy directive. I'm just filling up the vending machine here. If I was in the business of selling vending machines...
No. I'm not saying you. I was the royal you, not you. I'm just saying when somebody gets their own vending
when
machine.
one gets their own vending machine.
It affects
Right.
the way that they interact with people and the way that they're able to relate with their fellow man, it's hard to talk about.
Oh. Perfect.
So I know you're wondering, and I don't have the magazine with me yet. I'm sorry.
Sure. Yeah, I'm disappointed, but I understand. You have a lot on your plate.
And I did track down some additional information about the magazine that I think it would be good to sort of go over with you as a responsible buyer-seller sort of step.
Well, this should be above board.
The centerfold, the centerfold kills you if you look at it.
Excuse me?
Is this news to you?
Did somebody die?
No. I have to assume in the past. Otherwise, people wouldn't have known. This seems to have been. Okay, so I think I've traced the magazine back out to one of the planets out there called Columnar, where I don't fully know what's going on, but they made some fashions that kill you if you look at them, and then they decided to take a photograph of it. Why do you think the magazine is so hard to get, Mustard? It's because the centerfold kills you if you look at it.
I have a practical question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the reason it came from Columnar because they're mostly robots, and so they didn't realize that it killed you if you looked at it until someone
We talked
who
about
wasn't.
this.
I think they're just very avant-garde.
Yeah.
So there was an intentional, like, what if we made fashion that could kill you, including people from robots from Columnar.
I think we could find
Also kills
4 artists in America right now who would do this if they could.
Being very careful about what you search. Performance artists like Chris
Yeah,
Burton
this
have
is
been
what
doing
I'm-
stuff like this forever.
This is what I'm saying.
Well, the question is just practically the Columnar set out to create a death,
Yes.
death fashion, not they made a very dangerous fashion
I
that became a death fashion when non-robots.
If I'm getting specific, I suspect they made a death textile or a death shape, and then someone was like, "I'm going to
into a clothes.
Death style, but make it fashion." You know,
right.
I'm saying something about this, right? I'm saying something about the death tile. I'm making it. I'm. What if fashion could kill? You know, and I bet the magazine has warnings on it, and it says, "Don't look at it."
Don't
Okay,
open this.
yes. Something that they weren't sure would happen and realized quickly, and this perhaps leads to the fact that the magazine is rare, is they weren't sure the effect would propagate through a camera.
Right.
They didn't know that it would kill you in the magazine. Maybe there were people on set who were like, are we really going to do this? But they printed the magazine anyway and discovered quickly, yes, it does kill you if you look at it through the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you want this? Okay, question 1. Do you still want this? Knowing, once again, that I understand that it's a double spread. On the left-hand side are 2 tall people, and on the right-hand side is a child. It's kids' fashion, I guess, on the right-hand side. And it kills you if you look at it. Question 2, why did you want it in the first place?
Well, first of all, I would still like a thank you. And thank you for the heads up. Yes. Yes. The reason that I need it
Yes.
is because there is an article in the magazine about someone from the Brink.
What?
A historical figure from the Brink was interviewed in this magazine, and I haven't found any scans of it online. I'm sort of figuring out why now. So I would like to have a copy. That's so weird that they wouldn't just censor it or, reproduce it without the death pictures.
Don't know what's going on out there. And look, if I'm being honest, Mustard, this week has been very complicated for me in terms of what's going on out there. I will do my best to. I'm not going to get into it. I will do my best to get this to you. You be careful of it, okay? I don't feel good about this being on the station. But you've always done right by me in the past.
Oh, I assure you that it'll be very safe in my possession. I will not let any death photos leak out. So, rest assured.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that answers the question. I think a big vibe here for me is when you describe this character, Ali, you describe that great webcomic. It's like Weird Girl X Weird Girl. And I subsequently read it, and it's so good. And it involves someone who just like watches security camera footage of accidents. But yeah, so I think that is also what I'm playing into with a magazine that kills you if you look at it. It doesn't have to be kids fashion. I said that just as improv, and then realized exactly how ghoulish it was. What I was going to say was on the right hand side is a dog, but then I realized that like dog fashion.
What about it?
Would play in an even weirder way. The right-hand side is indistinct. Is it kids' fashion? Is it dogs' fashion? Is it something just on a mannequin? But yeah, it's a relief to Paris to know that she doesn't at least apparently want to use it to kill somebody.
So you leave Paris? I have a little stinger for this.
Yes, I do leave.
Badoop. You get a message, Mustard. On your, are you like tied into the mesh the way most Twilight Mirage characters are?
Yeah.
Just have like augmented reality stuff. Okay. A picture appears. It's the it kills you. No, it doesn't kill you. It's the cover of the magazine. It's the cover of the magazine, and it says, deadly fashion, and it is the big censor barred version of the fashion where all you see is like the heads and feet of the models posing. We do see the name of the article you're looking for, which is like this would have been from it's my thinking here is that it is actually it's either an interview with an AI construct version of someone who used to be on the Brink, or it is because when Columnar joined, it had already been some time by the time let me give you the pitch. It was either going to be an interview with Grand Magnificent or Morning's Observation. These are the two people who we know would make sense to be in a weird avant-garde fashion magazine, to me, personally.
Yeah.
But Columnar doesn't join until the perfect millennium, which is thousands of years later. So I could very much imagine it being like a Morning's Observation, like AI, or some sort of interview out of time, a previous interview with an obscure fashion legend from the Twilight Mirage that gets published in the piece. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Either or. Maybe it's the two of them interviewing each other about their art, which is actually extremely funny. They are both long past by now. I mean, Grand obviously ended up as a sort of an excerpt, but not in the same way like Signet was, let's say. And I suspect by 5,000 years, again, even if we only say 1,000 years or 500 years later, whatever we ended up saying last time here, I think we said 500, that's still far enough away that I don't think that they were probably alive, but that image shows up and it says, "The magazine is on board. I can provide you with a copy for a nominal fee." And this is introduce an opportunist or hustler with a predatory offer.
Oh, sick. Is this from the Scum and Villainy?
No, this is the Divine Arbitrage. This is from the markets.
Oh, fuck.
Oh. And this is straight to Mustard?
Straight to Mustard.
Well, sure. I mean,
It's simple. Like, it's as simple as this. All you have to do is make an account with the arbitrage. With the arbitrage, right? With the divine PayPal, basically. That's all. You just have the payment has to come through that. It uses a special currency that only works there. You have to buy that currency. Don't worry where that currency comes from or how much it costs to produce. Mustard doesn't seem like she would care necessarily. You just transfer your Twilight Mirage, whatever, credits. We don't even know how money works in the Twilight Mirage at this point. We don't know if there is it seems to me like there is some sort of currency unit, but I don't know what the place of markets is inside of the Mirage. We left it really going towards, I don't think that was market anarchism is where we were leading it. I think we are leading it away from markets pretty strongly. But I can imagine a place like the Brink has something beyond has some form of exchange and potentially some form of currency. But this is arbitrage, very much trying to get people into a system where, like, this currency system is long term going to try to supplant whatever the Brink and then the Mirage uses as its primary mode of exchange. And so it's simple. You just sign in and you make an account. You can use your regular mesh account. It just links right up. It's really easy. It already has the API hooks for it. And then you just say, go ahead and just, transfer over some, it's like no fee actually for small purchases. There's no fee even. So you just have to use that one. And then the magazine will be moved to you. It just currently on board someone's ship who's docked. And they are going to get a message that says someone wants to buy your cursed magazine. And that person is going to go, oh shit, really? I wanted to get rid of this thing. This thing is cursed. And provide it for you. If you say yes.
Seems like a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
exactly what a win-win is.
well, it's such a funny thing because, like, it would be, there's a version of being honest to the character where it's like she would be aware of cybersecurity and she would be very protective of her personal data. Being someone who, like, manipulates others so often, like, you probably wouldn't be the person who's like, yeah, I'll give this weird program my information, but I don't think. I think it's better to just say yes to that.
I think you could go that way, though. That doesn't sound wrong.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a version of a person who exists, but I don't want to say no thank you to this funny setup. So.
Yeah, let's do it. Cool.
It would be really funny, though, if we zoomed in on the Twilight Mirage in the immediate aftermath of the Twilight Mirage finale, and they had just all become weird mutualists.
Yeah, Keith, like, trust me, one of the things that, like, in my mind that is threatening the Twilight Mirage on the inside is 100% ANCAPs. Like, it 100% is, people who think that the market has a strong place inside of society and that, like, that
the worst villain you've come up with yet.
Listen,
basically, it's if someone gets their own vending machine in
Yeah.
their office.
Yeah. I mean, also, there is definitely, I don't think that 3T understands that he leans towards a sort of, like, nationalist anarchism, but there is that strain of nationalism here that is like, fuck yeah, the Twilight Mirage is the best place on Earth, and the Twilight Mirage should not be outsiders here, and we should
prove that by going to war.
By going to war, exactly.
Right. Yeah, so. I really want to problematize that the more we
I think it's
explore this game.
Yes. So
yeah.
I don't think it's an easy, for what it's worth, fuck the Principality. Someone should fight the Principality. Like, it is not
thinking about this all fucking week. Yeah, to be clear, I don't think that any of us are here like, yay, let's go.
Yes.
But I want to make sure that we don't in understanding that we all feel that way, I want to make sure that we don't get characters on screen that don't also feel that way.
Anyway, that seems like a scene, Allie.
Yeah.
I have a minor scene.
It's a Craigslist for the magazine that kills.
I have a quick minor scene, I think, for 3T, which is, being okay. So I think that Coruscant Seventine has been shooed off the case, so to speak, but is not agreeing with that and is keeping up with trying to follow whatever 3T is up to, and spots 3T helping direct people loading things onto the blue-orange trucks. What are they? Who could say?
Shit.
Is it guns? I don't know. I know if it's guns or not, but it looks like it could be. It looks like it's crates of something.
Shit.
Also, I forgot to keep up our keeping track of all of the scenes, and I'm too lazy to try to catch up. So I'm stopped.
Do you want a conversation there, or do you want to...
No, I think it's a minor scene. I think that it's just like Seventine looking around the corner, or like zooming in on a camera, even though he's not supposed to, etc. So yeah, that's my minor. Very easy.
Okay, this is a new round. So now it's
Anybody can go.
Me, Deutsch, and Paris that
Mm-hmm.
need to go. Okay.
Wait, I don't know if Mustard went. I think I went. Yeah, there we go.
Oh. What was we haven't seen anything. Have we done a threat 1 scene yet?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I mean, it's in the conversation, right?
Right.
But
Right.
not explicitly.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it in a bit more to the
Yeah,
spy scene,
the
but it was a
spy
little
stuff is
tough
sort of there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of different parts.
Stay focused on something that is you are just interested in. You know, which could be. Have you heard that people are emerging days later as new members of a strange cult?
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
It could be anything.
We're still at that point of the game where we're sort of splashing around, finding the
the
threads.
through lines.
Yeah.
I think that's everything as far as seen, right?
I think that's right. Thank you for helping me catch up.
Oh, geez. Okay, great.
Uh-huh.
Love that.
And we also haven't met your ghost yet. That's a good point. Thank you, Garrulous
Haven't met my
Monolith.
ghost. Let me read what the hell it says about my ghost.
Yeah, could you read it aloud? I want to know what your ghost's deal is based on what we know so far.
The problem is that I deleted the sticky note that explained it.
I think it was just what you wrote.
No explanation.
Yeah.
It's just what I wrote.
Yeah,
which
it is.
The ghost that watches over me. In the actual text, it's the software ghost that watches over me.
The digital ghost or whatever. Right.
Okay. Can I Mustard, what was your relationship with Craig again?
Oh, Craig was my former mentor, another Brink proxy person who now can't stand me because I think that Craig knows that I'm like using my access to information about people to monitor them.
Wow. Okay. Then can I have a scene with actually I'm going to do a minor scene, and it's just going to be with Craig and Pushy in the bar cleaning up like before the show, because there's a 3T show later. Is it later today?
Later this weekend.
It's this week. Okay,
question
so
mark,
we're
question mark,
making
question mark.
preparations. Like we've got to move tables to to accommodate the larger crowd, and so we're just getting things ready in advance. And Pushy sort of like kind of grumbling about Craig not being really good at cleaning. Meanwhile, Pushy's got like a bunch of tentacle arms coming out of his backpack that's like he basically is Doc Ock cleaning stuff, and it's like, Craig's so slow at cleaning. and they're talking about the meeting of everyone from earlier. Sorry, the assemblage.
Thank you.
Because that one
meetings.
guy wouldn't show up to a meeting.
Yep.
So we had to call it an assemblage. And I think Craig is gonna talk some shit about Mustard Red, who Pushy has known, but Craig would, I think, be like, you're gonna go complain. You can't complain to Mustard Red. They're like, she's like a wild card. Like,
wow.
Like she seems really into Brink culture, but is like too into access.
How does that hit for Pushy? Like, what's the expression we see on Pushy's face?
I think he has sort of a naturally grumpy face, and is scowling in a way that it's like, well, it's Pushy. Pushy's always kind of scowling. But I think that what's happening is like, well, if I can't go to the Brink, I've got to do some other thing to take care of this, because we don't just have the cult. We have the weirdos who I think are part of the cult who are also holding up the truckers trying to drive through, and which is already causing a problem. And so it's like, is no one doing something about this? We had this meeting. Is that meeting for nothing?
We had what?
Assemblage.
Thank you.
And that's my scene.
I feel like I might also be able to do a minor scene. This could be a major scene, I guess, if anybody wants to play Joe DeVere.
Joe DeVere.
But one of my moves is dispatch a capable agent under your command. And I think we've had enough of these sort of like cult monitor scenes or whatever that it feels useful to like have like action being taken on that. So I'm gonna put this token back into the token thingy. But yeah, I think it's basically just her like meeting up with Joe to be like, hey, can you follow this person? Or can you like, I think I know who might be like recruiting people or like you know, involved in sort of the like cult and not like one of the people who have sort of been coming in and out.
Not the new recruits, but someone like who's been there for a minute.
Yeah. I think that she's been like watching the new recruits enough to be like, now it is time to get someone to act on a cultist, like a capital C cultist. And I don't know that the scene needs to be more.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I have something to bounce off of that, but not. I'll wait until after this next lament scene, this next Deutsch scene.
They're the same person.
Yeah. Wow.
2 names.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually thinking I might do a minor scene as well. But it was to decide whether or not that. Sorry, what was it? Did we get a name for the like columnar refugee? Or
yeah, Knighton Reach.
Knighton, right?
Yeah, right here.
I was gonna figure out if Knighton or not was one of my targets or not.
Right. Well, now you've seen Knighton's face, right? Though you've seen Knighton's face after its normal face shield has been ripped off, which was not intentional, but that's kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
But a purple, gold, and white columnar probably would still be what the dossier says if they were one of your targets.
The way I've been thinking about how I've been trying to think of like, okay, if I don't have a home, how do I like communicate and look at orders? Because the shadow is very much described as slinking around the station.
Yeah.
And I described the thing with the mirrors last time, and I think that is where like she went to the mirror at the bar, and that displayed like, I think the words I chose were like unsanctioned divinity detected,
Right.
or
Yep.
something about the cult.
Mhm.
And I think that like the mirrors are how the curtain's been communicating. They like, I don't think that they're special mirrors. I just think that there's a way that they broadcast across mirrors. That like when one of their agents, maybe the agent has an augment for it too,
Right.
but it becomes sort of a display or like a messaging thing for them, like where like images and text and stuff shows up for the curtain's operative. And like I'm in my head, it is extremely like a early CG like render of this person's face, and it either says like terminate if it's the target, or like not important, some synonym for not important that I can't think of right now. So I'm just gonna flip a coin.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, like fictionally, I don't think it makes sense, but I could also see it being like not it. Maybe I do a D3 and one of them is not one of your targets. Kill anyway.
Oh my God. Do a D3.
Listen,
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. The target of opportunity. Honestly,
Yeah.
maybe we just go with that. That's kind of fun, right?
I mean, I rolled a 3 and that was gonna
All
be
right,
a 3.
there it is. That's the one.
There we go.
Because maybe I saw something while I was captured. Maybe they don't know. And I'm
Can you say you got escaped? You got captured by
I did.
curtain people.
Yeah, and then escaped
from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So totally, yeah, viable. Good. Love it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And that's my minor scene. I'm
All
so glad I
right.
rolled a 3.
I love that. I have a request for a major scene. I don't know why I moved that over. I'm going to move it back over now. I think 3T reaches out to all the troublemakers and says, I really want this next show to be special. I really want if y'all have any ideas for how to, zhuzh it up, how to make it extra, how to make it, that much more, the most memorable night the Brink has ever seen, let me know. And I would love offer strength at a personal cost from the Lambent Strand, from Devotion. I want someone from this cult to reach out and be like, yeah, we can help you to 3T, but I don't know who that is or what that person is like or what that encounter is like. But I want that connection to be drawn. Because I've basically put the word out to the devil. You know what I mean? I've been like, I'm here at the crossroads, devil. Someone make me an offer.
Oh, someone's gonna be there, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to just think of what the higher ups of this cult specifically look like in my head.
Is that who comes? Is it someone who's well established?
I think it's someone who is God, what comparisons am I? I'm trying to make a comparison here, but they're all horrible because I'm thinking about cults.
Kind of
I was gonna be okay, I'll just say the only how David Miscavige exists and is kind of that's the guy that runs Scientology, but nobody would recognize him on the street.
Yes, totally.
That's true.
It's that type of guy. Where it's just very unassuming. I don't have a name off the top of my head. Looks like he'd work in an office, maybe.
And it's just a regular, it's just like a suit. Is this like a wears a button-down shirt, but the top button is unbuttoned, and wears a blazer with it?
There's no, it's a button-up shirt with the like you said, the top button unbuttoned, and I think he's got cufflinks though that have the little shield on them. And there's just like little things like that are like slight embellishments. I haven't like settled on a color for any of them, but like his clothing has that integrated somewhere.
Okay.
This guy looks like a combination of like a state senator and like the businessman villain from an 80s movie.
Yeah, I figured out what I was who I was picturing.
I'm ready.
And it is because I watched this recently. And it is kind of that. It's the IRS. If anyone's seen Fargo season 3, the IRS agent in that.
Oh, is that Hamish Linklater?
I think so. The guy from Midnight Mass.
It is Hamish Linklater. One of my absolute like all-time favorite character actors.
He's great. Rules. Yeah, that's sort of like really I have a picture. Hold on, let me put that in the chat before I forget.
He's really good in Legion too. I mean, he's good in everything. I like him.
Yes. Oh, I forgot that he was in Legion.
Oh yeah, this guy. Sure.
He's the weird little fuck in Legion.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, he's great at being a weird little fuck. And yeah, like I think the reason he pops into my head is because he has a very like when he smiles very widely, it's like very distinctive. I've noticed it in like a few of the roles he's played, and then also the sort of corporate look here is exactly what I've got in mind. I think he keeps calling you friend or like referring to you as his new friend when you start. I don't know if we want to talk this out specifically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I want this to be a major scene. Where do we meet?
Okay, then yeah. What's this guy's name? Shit. I think where they meet. I think they've been doing is making a show of like eating in the common areas with the other people in the Brink more often.
Oh sure.
Ebex is
I was gonna say. I love a. I've been listening to Counterweight recently, and all those commissary scenes are great. And here we go again. Fantastic.
I have a last name, but I don't have a first name.
What's the last name you got?
Paso Doble.
Paso Doble.
Like the dance.
The dance.
Oh sure.
But I don't have a first name. If this guy might turn out to be someone major.
Paso Doble Bucho. I got it. Yeah.
Oh shit. Right, it is two-step.
Two-step. This is no Bucho. I know Bucho.
This is not Bucho. And I think for meeting there's probably...
Sorry, Jack, what was that?
Oh, I was going to say, what about an initial? What if it's just like El Paso
Doble?
Oh,
I love it.
Paso Doble.
Sure.
CTH Paso Doble. I'm realizing now that this is just riffing off VM Varga from Fargo.
It is. Yeah.
Completely accidentally, but...
I like CTH a lot.
Yeah, sure.
And it's like Conrad, Tetracal,
longer than a name could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I take your car and I sit down at the commissary. I have a plate of food. I didn't realize this was going to be like just a meeting. And I look across and you don't have any food and I get kind of confused.
Oh, no, I don't mind. Please eat. I'm happy to meet here, but everyone's got needs and it's not going to distract from any of our business.
I like the food here, is the thing. A lot of people say that you got to go to it. I think it's delicious. I think it's one of the best parts about the Brink. Good food for everybody.
A lot of love goes into this food.
This is what I'm saying. Is I know I've read about out there, and a lot of people don't have bread and water, let alone, one of these, lifting up a double cheeseburger, and taking a sip from a chocolate shake.
It truly is a struggle out there. I'm glad that we found ourselves in somewhere so hospitable.
I agree. Anyway, Kath, who do you represent?
That is such a difficult question to answer. I guess I shouldn't name them all. But you've seen us around the station. Me and the friends of mine.
Your friend. I mean, I got a lot. There's a lot of fans who come, so I'm sorry. I'm not trying to diss. There's a lot of people for me to keep up with. What? You said you're the friends of what?
I think there's like a that's sort of like polite laugh when it's like, oh, this person doesn't really know who they're talking to right
No.
now, but like trying also not to let on that you're like, oh, this person doesn't even know who I am. We I thought of an answer that feels like it's just me not having a name yet, but it is whatever. We've been preferring not to define ourselves yet, but our group has been on the Brink now for, it like pauses to do some math, I think about 3 or 4 months at this point.
All right, word. I was born here actually. I've been around the Mirage, obviously tours and whatnot, but I was born in Sector 22. And
oh wow. It's always such a pleasure to meet someone who's actually a local here.
I'm not trying to draw any. I'm not trying to say who is, who isn't.
I just mean your familiarity with the place. Comes in handy.
Agreed.
So, my friends and I, we're just a sort of an upstart community here. I know that, we've ruffled a few feathers, no pun intended, as a bird flies by.
You and me both. In that way, we're alike. I think
there's a lot of ways that we're alike. Austin, I'm scrolling, but I'm so zoomed in. What's 3T's first? Telios.
Telios.
I think he calls you Telios.
Yeah.
He's like, we've got a lot of things in common, Telios.
Yeah, Telios is my last name. Tanager is my first name. It's just yeah, of course. We all got different things.
Well, Tanager, and like a bit of a like cheesing it a bit with the smile when he says that. I think we're alike in the way that we want to see what's best for the people, the common people,
I think that we are totally aligned. I've been trying to get that message out because, again, let me put it to you like this. The world is big, right? You take any globe and you think about where we are, and it's like we're at the top of the globe. We're just up there at the very peak, and we look around and it's good here, and we look out, well, it's sunny out, it's beautiful, the Mirage is around us. But you start going south, and bit by bit you see people don't have it as nice. The sun isn't out there, so they can't grow crops, which means they don't have food. The waters there are real high, so it floods all the time. And not like in the regular, you need a floodplain to produce good agriculture, just like lots of floods. And we're up here. I don't hold it against anybody that they don't know. Because you're in the Mirage. You're in the Mirage. You're in the Mirage. You know what I mean? But we're out here now. Being in Brink means sometimes we got news updates about what was going on out there. And growing up, I asked my folks every time, why is it that the Principality gets to do what it does and we don't help people? And now, here it is, a decade later, and here they are, knocking on PALISADE's door. So if we don't stop them here, I know they're going to come for us, and we need to do more than stop them. Someone has to do something, and no one out there is doing enough.
It really does my heart good when I meet someone so young with such fervor in them.
This is my life. This is not a costume.
No, and I would never imply that. Tanager, I see your vision for this. You and we're just trying to connect the strands of this net that all of us exist in. They've been frayed. And if we all just come together, we can show that there's nothing that's impossible for us. But, unfortunately, like you said, people just kind of want to hide their head in the sand. And it's up to people like you and me to pull them right out of it. Isn't that right?
I don't know. Listen, it's one thing when my fans come together and they listen to me. But And that means a lot. I know they like the music, and so they're going to listen to me. But I don't know you from anybody. I don't know you from Arbit. So the fact that you're listening to what I have to say and are taking it seriously, it means a lot. I don't know enough about what you do to see where we could connect, but I would love to talk to some more people and see what the deal is, and maybe we could meet up. And I have a show coming on Friday or on this weekend.
Out of character question. You put up signage for that, right?
Oh yeah, there's signage up. Yeah. 100%.
Yes, I think I've seen some of the. I wonder if he slips and calls it, like, says something like younger members of our congregation. Like, flips it. It's a little bit religious. It's
I
like,
think that's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I've seen some younger members of our congregation talking about that. Maybe I've seen a flyer or two at our meetings. Seems like a wonderful time.
Listen, I saw you wince just there. Like when I notice things. I'm pretty perceptive.
I'm like a very perceptive young man.
Congregation's not a bad word. You shouldn't. I don't know why you do that. We're in a congregation together, all of us. And there might be a smaller congregation, like you're in the back left of the pews and I'm in the top right or whatever, but we are in it together in that way. And I wish someone would stand up at the pulpit. I'm trying to. Anyway, thank you so much, Kath. It means a lot.
CTH. It's
CTH to you, too.
No. You take care of yourself, Tanager. But if you need anything, the Friends of Devotion are here for you.
Friends of Devotion. Yeah. Devotion. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Shake your hand. Stand up. You sure you don't want anything?
No. I've got more than enough. I'm going to do that again.
Uh-huh.
I've had more than enough nourishment today. Thank you.
Alex
gives you another one of his cards.
Oh, great. CTH.
Now you're getting it.
Alex Horta in the chat says the anarcho-Catholicism definitely exists. I promise you. Christian anarchism is like a for real thing. So, anyway, good scene.
Yeah.
Boom. What was the last name again? CTH?
Paso Doble.
Paso Doble.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to double check Knighton's pronouns. Is it he, him? Or
We
was
were
it
doing they, them with Knighton.
Okay, my bad. Yeah.
Thank you.
I thought so, but...
The Friends of Devotion. Okay. Who's up?
That's the end of this round, right?
No, it's the beginning of the next round.
Start of this round.
Yeah. I'd already gone last round. That was the start of this one. I feel like this will be our last round also.
Okay.
For the day. Not for... I don't think we've resolved any of this.
Uh-huh.
Be a very complicated finale scene, though.
And then the Brink blew up.
Yeah.
Thank you to whoever keeps moving my thing back and forth to the right.
Oh, I've been
section, 'cause I
doing
keep
it.
Forgetting to do
Yeah,
it.
no worries.
I'd like to do a minor scene. I'd like to narrate a minor. I'm wondering if it'd be a good time to try out a read the station, just to get a sense of how that plays.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We haven't done
Yeah,
one yet. Do you want me to
okay.
read the rules for it?
Yeah, go through it. I think I have a broad idea of what to do, but
When you read the station, you step out of your character's role to portray different groups' attitudes and feelings concerning a particular issue. First, decide on the topic under discussion. You might talk about a previous scene's events, a particular station issue, or a wider cultural or philosophical point. You can frame the topic as a question, as in, should we accept deserters as refugees? Or a statement, as in, the deserters will bring the war upon us. Share your views. Then, starting on your left, each player takes turns weighing in on the topic. You can speak as a class of residents, like the Smugglers, or in an established group, like Red Sun Galactic. Give a sentence describing how that group feels about the issue. The views shared are always opinions and beliefs, not facts. In conclusion, once everyone's weighed in, including you, the discussion is over. You don't need to settle on a unified position. Communities are messy and contain multitudes. Instead, draw upon what you've learned to color your actions and inspire your questions in subsequent scenes. Do you have a question in mind to see what the various factions on board feel like?
yeah, let's do a big swing. Should the Brink itself intervene with the conflict on Palisade, apart from the majority of the Twilight Mirage? Essentially, if they're not acting, should we act alone?
This is kind of like easy for me to answer as the troublemakers, but I'm going to answer as the troublemakers. And maybe as young people aboard, broadly, which doesn't mean there aren't exceptions. But the answer is yes. But I think it's a really, so let me just give this the actual word for word. Yeah, of course. I don't understand why we haven't gotten involved yet at all. We have all this stuff. We definitely have good weapons. Why don't we go help people on Palisade? They need our help. They said they needed our help. Why don't we just help them? I don't care how expensive it is. We need to help them.
I have something
Mm-hmm.
kind of for like some of the like haulers and truckers. It feels weird calling them truckers because they're not trucks.
No, they're truckers.
but-
They're space truckers. This is
Okay,
established.
cool.
Grant spent a year as a space
yeah,
trucker.
he specifically
Yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to find the voice for this. Listen, also those ships when we were coming in here. There's nothing we can do against a force that size other than get blown to Kingdom Come. That's a thing that I can't say because that's the name of a ship.
You're allowed. It's been 50,000
Okay, cool.
years.
It's been 50,000 years. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, that's my statement then.
55, I want to say. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that is basically it. There's just a lot of fear of the size of the militaries that have shown up here.
Yeah, I think I could speak on behalf of like security as a whole, maybe not specifically Brink Proxy or Corson. And the response is as a neutral station, we have our own priorities and our own assets and our own people to take care of. We've specifically not gotten involved or thrown our hat in with any other organizations, and we're not about to start now. Especially not when it will put a target on our back.
Remind me who we can answer as our character.
Any group on board.
Any sort of faction.
Yeah, faction or a collected group, the way that Sylvi did the haulers and truckers. That's not necessarily one company, but, you know.
Then I'm going to answer on behalf of the Orchard Syndicate.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh.
We've not heard from them yet. This is the Zealous group, or is this the weird group? Okay.
Ooh, fuck. I just remembered that there's guns in their ships.
Are there?
Maybe.
Maybe. We haven't decided that yet.
Who knows what they're for?
We don't. Yeah, we don't. You have heard rumors, and Coruscant saw me helping to load things on board.
The Orchard Syndicate says no, absolutely no. War would be terrible. What a terrible idea. We absolutely, definitely do not want to go to war.
Huh.
That seems like something that would be bad for everybody.
Yeah. Sounds good. Is this not like Quiet Year style where I get a wrapping up?
No,
line,
you
do
don't get
I?
a. No, you don't get
I
a follow
pose the
up.
question.
You pose the.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, wait. Did you not? Did you give an answer at all?
No, I did not give an
Oh,
answer.
then yeah, I think you do get to.
It
does not says it says once everyone has weighed in, including you. So yes, you do get to weigh in.
This is coming from This is coming from agitators within the troublemakers, sort of slightly older people, but I think still young people, but slightly older than the troublemakers in the sense of like army.
Medium age.
These are people who are like, yeah, Carly Rae Jepsen's Emotion was a great album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
For too long, Palisade has languored on the outer Mirage. Of course we should drive the Principality off, but I think that the time has come for us to reclaim that land for the inner Mirage.
They moved the Earth, why can't they move Palisade?
They did. They moved the Earth very well.
They did.
I think also, wasn't there a system of government in Seattle for a long time?
No, that's just where Morning's observation was.
Morning's observation was from
Seattle, an island city called Seattle.
I didn't know if Seattle was where it was all happening on Earth. Who knows?
But I guess Morning's observation did have like a tie to the throne, right? So
that's why it's called Seattle. It's an island.
Oh, right. Sea is right there.
Oh, Seattle, yeah.
Anyway.
There we go.
All right, with 3 more.
I don't have any tokens.
You can get some. Always get some.
Yeah,
Gotta make those nice weak
Yeah.
moves.
Also, people should remember that they get to use their lores to give other people tokens by asking them their various lore questions in scenes. So try to work towards those.
Oh, mine has been covered this whole time.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a good one, too. You gonna read that, Allie?
Which of your character's secrets have I discovered?
Ooh, that is good. Who's left? It's me.
Me.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something.
It can be as big or small as we want.
I mean, I kind of have a small one, but it also feels like maybe it shouldn't be minor. Maybe we could make it major.
Up to y'all. You know, it feels
was
like
just-
we're at a boiling. Things are starting to boil a little bit. So,
yeah. So I was gonna kill Knighton.
oh yeah,
and then
let's.
have that cause some sort of complication.
Oh yeah.
Which
Do something
even
terrible
think-
because you were ordered to.
yeah, I think that
Let's do that scene. Let's just do that scene.
Consequence,
Follow
yeah, okay,
follow
cool.
that urge. If any of y'all ever have like the like, I think maybe this, just do it. It's better to do it, and we'll find it in the doing it, and it'll end up better because that's where your heart was, you know. So where is it?
Find Knighton. I think it's like I don't know, because of I've been thinking of the Brink a lot in similar ways to like an airport, where even if it's really
Yeah,
late,
sure.
it's not like quiet. You know?
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
So I it would have to be somewhere.
It could also be like an
secluded.
airport in that other way, though, right? Where it's like the hub is always busy,
That's true.
but you can be in one of the like the side wings of an airport, the various terminals where it's like technically it's open, but it's dead, and maybe there's like some people sleeping on some benches or whatever.
Yeah.
But like none of the stores are open anymore. You know?
Oh, is it like one of the like less densely used like hostel areas that? we
Yeah, I
mentioned
think so
earlier?
because remember, Knighton doesn't have any money. Knighton doesn't have any people here anymore, and like they ran off into the dark effectively, rejected your offer of having a place to stay because they wanted to avoid you, obviously, at this point. And yeah, maybe found a hostel very far from everything because that was what their instinct was, and because it's further away, it actually has some vacancy, it actually has some space, because remember, the Brink is packed with people right now, so you have to get pretty far away. You got to get to like sector 48 or 50 before you're far enough away that like you which is like, you have to imagine you've walked down one entire frigate that's been welded onto the side of this kind of like center trunk or stem of the Brink, and then walked down another one that's been welded to that, and then like a little smaller ship attached to that, and in there's a hostel, because that's like what these side wings are for the Brink, are like permanently attached ships. So it's you walking through all these different like interior designs because you're going from ship model to ship model, God.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to make this a major. I don't think there's any real dialogue here. We can kind of describe it as we go.
Yeah.
I think the way I've described Deutsch is wearing gloves all the time, and I think this is when one of them comes off. I'm about to explain what the concealed weapon I carry is. And it's that my hand is what if it turned into a sword?
Oh shit.
And I think it's like a real quick like.
No, I think we have to have the scene.
Yeah, we can have the scene. But
Yeah.
you've seen Hunter x Hunter now, so I can reference how Kilo's hands do.
I can. Yeah, you can reference how Kilo's hands do.
And that's what I'm thinking of, kind of. Except it's metal, like, coming together to form one blade.
To form a single blade.
Yeah.
I think you find Knighton sitting on the bottom of a bunk bed, like looking at the door, just watching the door, waiting for the door to open, waiting for this moment, waiting and waiting and waiting. And they hear the front door of the place open. They hear some footsteps. Then the door to the hallway opens and they hear some footsteps. And then like whoosh, the door panel slides up and they just like look up at you. I'm gonna use the aspect move, not this aspect. I'm picking up when you're dealing with the friends and neighbors. So I'm picking up the unaffiliated for a second to ask for help with problems that can't be solved alone. Is your name really Deutsch?
I wouldn't be very good at my job if I told you my real name the first time we met. Would I?
Why'd they send you after me? I'm nobody. I don't even pilot anything. I'm a bad mechanic.
That's the tragedy of it all, Knighton. Wrong place, wrong time.
You don't have to do it. You don't have to.
She cuts his head off.
No.
It's easier when you do it before they start begging.
Uh-huh.
And a vase on the side of the hostel explodes in blast of fire as the second spy on the station, Gimme Gimme, deployed onto the station.
Let's go!
By the
Let's
pact,
go!
takes an open shot at you. I am introducing the move, pull a weapon on somebody from outside Gimme Gimme, who is, the pact is Columnar, Apostolos, and... It's just Columnar and Apostolos, right, Austin?
Yep, that's the pact. Columnar and Apostolos. Gimme.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gimme Gimme is a columnar robot who, instead of having like humanoid legs, has multiple sort of like rolling wheeled legs, almost like a strand beast. We've had a strand beast on the show before.
Yep. Icebreaker Prime was a strand beast. It's a particular
who
one.
devised Icebreaker Prime?
I don't
That was
fucking.
the Kesh
That
built
was
it or something.
the
I don't
motion.
know.
Apostolos. Right? No, you're right.
right.
Kesh
So this
built it, and no, it was Apostolos is the whole
It was
time.
Apostolos. We
Yeah,
stole it from
we stole it from
we stole it
Apostolos.
from them.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is similar tech, but just on a smaller case. So Gimme Gimme comes rumbling down the corridor, their legs kind of like barreling underneath them.
There are many legs.
and-
There are dozens
Yeah.
of little legs, or big chunky legs. So that's the strand beast that Icebreaker Prime was based on.
And shouts, "Always were a coward, Lament. Now I have you where I want you." And I think we could play this out as just like a chase and have these characters disentangle now. But
this motherfucker again. I think she actually says that.
Yeah.
I do also. Is there any written rules on doing two moves?
No, if someone has done the thing,
This would technically be 3 moves, but yes, because Austin had Knighton ask for help.
Yes.
And then I had Gimme Gimme shoot.
And I have seize a vital asset with swift force.
Ooh.
And it doesn't say that I'm limited in any way on what kind of asset I can take.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, as long as it's pick up when somebody visits a seedier part of the station, witnesses a shady deal, or when things are too quiet. I would say the far reaches of the station are absolutely the seedier parts of the station.
Yeah.
We've talked about that, so.
I was thinking one kind of vital asset is the heavy and expensive magnet that is essentially the linchpin to the station's gravity support systems.
Oh my god.
Who
So
is-
the gravity goes out during this chase?
Gravity goes
Oh,
out.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Is this a completely separate... It's as though there's another tabletop game being played off screen in which a bunch of people have just successfully stolen the gravity linchpin.
Or is it related? Or is this what Gimme Gimme is doing?
This is not related.
This is just
Gimme Gimme is not
unrelated.
doing this.
The gravity goes out. Someone else is playing Heat Signature right now, and shit has just popped off.
Yeah.
Two spies shooting at each other in the air.
Fuck.
Spinning like the
Yeah.
T-Rex.
So absolutely. Like the impact from the guns, it pushes them, is the way I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
It's robot versus robot here on the Brink tonight. One's got 500 legs, the other one's got bunny ears.
She still couldn't hear you coming.
And you get away, I'm guessing, here.
I think at this point,
Deutsch. I guess this is less Deutsch, this is more Lament.
Who's better at navigating in 0G?
Good question.
Me, because I want to get away.
Mm,
I mean,
That's my
I
answer
think
to the
that's the
question.
answer to this, right? Where it's like, it's actually more interesting if these two spies know that they're out there, have prepared to take active action against each other, but like the gravity going out provides the means by which they have to disengage.
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay. I'm into it.
I wonder if, there's like this shared moment of like, it's the fucking Mirage,
Yeah.
what did we expect here as like their moment is ruined?
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good scene.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Mustard or Cheel? And then we'll be done.
Cheel is such a good name. Keith, you've been on a real tear of like weird names lately. I feel like Sank, Getlif, and Cheel Pushy
Sank
are
is
like
great.
real top tier Keith names.
I forgot about Sank.
Whatever's going on in the naming part at the moment's going very well.
I want to do something weird with the magnet.
Oh, I bet.
And a magnet has been stolen.
I want the Orchard Syndicate to show up with this magnet.
All right.
And try to do some sort of right with it.
Oh my god. I can't believe we have multiple fucked up cults. Which is
It
like
doesn't have to be multiple.
well,
could be
I
the
guess they
Orchard
could be
Syndicate
related to
could
the
be
Friends of
the-
Devotion. Yeah, it's true.
It
I have a
could be
pitch
the,
for. I have a pitch for how they could be related.
Okay.
But no, maybe I don't. No, maybe I don't.
I'll tell you what I was gonna say, which was not something I'd really thought through, but my
Yeah, that was my
impulse, my impulse was that the Red Phoenix, the RFE, whatever. It was basically that sort of thing where it's like the Orchard Syndicate is the sort of professional arm that like this cult's been here as long as this Orchard Syndicate's been around.
Right.
Oh, are you saying that the Orchard Syndicate is a front for the cult?
Yes.
Yes.
But maybe it's a second cult. Maybe this is an opposite.
No, I think that
cult.
makes perfect sense.
No,
I
yeah.
think that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is very funny because are they involved with the blue-orange stuff? Are they the ones moving the oranges? Presumably, they're an orchard. I guess they're not. Where orchard oranges don't come from orchards, but blue oranges might.
Well, oranges come from a grove, and
Right.
a grove is just an orchard.
Is that true? Yeah, I guess that's true.
I
Yeah.
remember looking it up when
Okay.
we talked about it,
Then yeah.
and then I read the definition of grove, and I was like, that's just an orchard.
Yeah.
A group of trees of indefinite extent, but not large enough to constitute a forest.
Yeah.
Especially such a group considered as furnishing shade for avenues of. No, that's not right.
That's not the part.
That's
Anyway.
that's just the DuckDuckGo definition. That's not what I was looking at before.
Right, sure. The point is, could definitely have oranges, and definitely have blue oranges. A fruit garden is generally synonymous with an orchard, although it is set on a smaller, non-commercial scale and may emphasize berry shrubs. Okay, sure. Anyway, I like that as the forward thing. The thing that's very funny to me is that like I've already been working. 3T's already been working with the Orchard Syndicate, putting stuff on there. So like doesn't even understand that the Friends of Devotion are related, and doesn't like is gonna end up working at the same group twice.
Yeah. Is this a a cult front breakdown of communication, or is this just like a let's get him?
I think
again?
it's let's bring him in. Let's bring him in from the cold and let him in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
What's the scene that you want to do with them? Was that it? Kind of the minor scene of them. What are they doing? What's the ritual? What are they doing? What are they doing with the magnet? What did they do to my cousin?
Okay, what are the
Your
pieces
cousin
that
next
we've
to a
got?
big magnet.
We've got the people disappearing. We've got the cousin. We have the checking of the pulse. We have the weird touching of the trucks.
They're just touching the trucks.
Yeah,
They're
been
just
touching the
touching
trucks. Well, they've been laying hands on.
They've been laying hands.
They've been trying to get at the trucks and touch them and do weird things. I'm gonna say that they've here's what they've done. They've broken several trucks, like rendered them inoperable via sabotage, and are surrounding them with magnets.
Not their own trucks.
No, not their own trucks. These are trucks that truckers are like, "What are you doing? Stop this!" Surrounding them with magnets, and then they've taken the big magnet from the gravity thing, and they've put it in some sort of privileged position. And I don't know what this does.
There's no gravity on board now, is what you're telling me.
Correct.
Is that on board even maybe there's gravity on board, like the ships that are docked, the regular ships that are docked have their own gravity. But once you're on board the center station, definitely not. And then probably even the extended ships, because most of those are just wired into the main system.
Some
They're not.
People have magnet boots.
Great.
Some people.
The Orchard Syndicate finds it very difficult to get all the magnet boots.
Yeah. The Orchard Syndicate, they all had their magnet boots on.
Of course.
Yeah, and so they're surrounding a handful of trucks with magnets. Put this giant magnet as a centerpiece. And they're
all right. So minor scene. Boom. The Orchard Syndicate does a magnet ritual.
Love that these fruit growers, we have seen them just heavily mechanized so far. It's all been like trucks and magnets and grav boots, and it's like these are orchardiers or whatever.
Fruit looks really different in the year, 900,000.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mustard.
Yeah.
Take us out.
Sure. Yeah. There's been a lot of like cult setup. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it should be like the 3T concert or maybe like a sound check situation of like maybe
we've no gravity still.
Okay.
Right? We're in that still.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well then maybe it should be my scene will be fixing that, I guess, instead of doing personal investigations.
I mean, I guess we could hand wave it and be like it got fixed off screen, but I would like to give it the credit of at least seeing it for a few scenes, maybe.
Okay, sure.
But that seems like we've set up a funny bit that we and like an interesting bit, which is like, well, what happens? I mean, maybe the thing that happens is this is what Proxy Brink does. They're ready to go with a backup magnet. I don't know. Maybe that's fine. We can say that that's what we end up seeing. But I would like to answer it rather than just like either answer it or right, exactly.
Then like move the camera. Sure. Yeah, then I guess that makes sense in terms of like, I guess it could be a minor scene then of different Brink Proxy like authorities, excuse me. But like going from like section to section, having to do like a manual reset or whatever on each of the gravity stations. So it probably takes like a day of being like, well, all of if there's like a health clinic in section 34 or whatever, like moving people to a health clinic on like section 2 or whatever where gravity has been restored, on top of like going down the line of like each of these little sections to restore that, because I'm sure it's like a to do.
Go ahead.
I think you maybe have a new app that could help you with this.
A word?
Yeah, This sounds a little bit like a market, an opportunistic hustler,
Oh, it does.
or a someone struggling to resist the allure of outside investment. To me.
Yeah. This could
Alternatively,
I
spend a token and play Saunter into a scene with a tantalizing offer.
Ooh. What's the offer? Also, can Joe Javiv be there helping you?
Sure.
Joe's there. Joe is a charming rogue that you can't help loving, and Joe is 100% casing all of these places. Joe's like, this like gives Joe access to every ship that is part of the central structure, because, or at least whatever subset the two of you were going on. And Joe is like, Joe has green hair. It's swoopy hair. It's like green swoopy, you know, pompadour maybe type vibe, and is like very clearly like, I could steal from this place. I see how I could get in and out of this place. Oh, this is a great ship you brought me onto. Anyway, that's what's happening when you saunter in. What's the offer?
Paris.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'll offer you Paris, the French city.
The island city of Paris.
The island city of Paris. Oh, the Sena's taken Paris by this point. This is something that Paris wants.
This is something that Paris wants?
No. I mean, the tantalizing offer, the fact that I am making there's ways of thinking about making a strong move, right? Like, it's like, on the one hand, making the strong move lets you, I pitched this because it seems like there is a very natural conflict here between the new force of the markets in arbitrage and Paris, a salesman aboard the Brink.
Right. Well, especially since Keith was literally about to pick up Marketplace, or did, and say, show someone the struggling to resist the allure of outside investment, right?
The reason that I went, wait, actually, is this a thing, is because that conflict feels like a very natural conflict.
So then let's make it very clear, right? Which is that, like, eventually, as you're doing this process, Mustard, you get that same badoop, and it's a message from Arbitrage again that is like, you know, I can restore the gravity. We can get the gravity back on board instantly. Simply sign in with your Brink Proxy account and set up a small contract fee, and we can provide a a middleman service for gravity. I'd
love to monitor this.
Yeah.
Something like this happens
in the future. Exactly.
Here is my proposal.
And that is when you enter the scene. Do you literally enter the scene, or do you send another message?
I am there when she gets that message.
Okay.
And my immediate... I think I'm there because you are inspecting the bit of the night market where we're all just, like, pulling oranges back down into crates or whatever.
Crates that are also floating away. Crates that have been magnetized or tied down or something.
And I think I can't help but... what is that? Who is texting you?
No. It's a little rude if you ask me.
Oh, we go way back. I'm trying to get her a magazine that kills people.
Oh. La-di-da. I knew your tastes were expensive, but... Also, you have that magazine now, Mustard. That magazine showed up yesterday.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Still no update. Sorry, Mustard.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. This is a new retailer on the Brink.
What?
Well,
It's someone who makes a suit again, obviously.
Shut the fuck up, Jerry.
It's Joe.
It's Joe.
What? Come on, get my name right.
Oh, Joe, I see. Sorry, Joe. I thought you were a different NPC. I thought you.
Hey, now you're calling me an NPC. This guy. You see, because it's a tailor, but it's a retailer. Yep.
Very funny.
Thank you. I thought so.
Anyway, apparently they're, trying to set up a business here on the Brink and,
What do they-
support local businesses.
Oh my god.
I almost did a spit take. I came so close. Truly all of my will had to be summoned to keep this sparkling water.
I think I'm gonna read the licensing agreement. I'm gonna be the weirdo who reads the license agreement on the bottom. I'm gonna hand it back and say, you don't want anything to do with this, Mustard.
Oh, and why don't I?
You think it's strange that you haven't heard any of this shit in Brink, Proxy? They've come straight to you?
Well,
Wouldn't you be the first to know?
First of all, I'm very connected. And, I'm a person with my own identity, and I can make my own choices.
Oh my god.
Okay. When you submit this, you're doing two things. You are signing an ongoing contract, and you are buying into a new system of currency aboard the bridge. They're trying to invent a new sort of money.
We're all trying to invent a new sort of money. Obviously.
Are we?
I don't know. You got your suit. I got my hair.
I don't understand what you mean.
Mustard's got
That
her
doesn't
skill
seem like-
set.
This doesn't seem like inventing a new kind of money at all. Have you moved us onto the metaphorical level here?
I think what Joe's trying to say is that we all have our own impulses.
Thank you. Mustard gets me.
Some people's impulses is to sign away an ongoing financial obligation to whoever the fuck this is.
I got it.
None of my
Bah!
guys-
Gravity comes on and we all fall.
Did you get it by signing the thing?
No, I just turned the handle for this one sector.
For this room.
Yeah, for this room. Yeah. Just wanted to interrupt you rudely by turning on gravity.
I don't know who this is, and as a salesman, I would like to know more. So I'm prepared to cut you a deal. Me and my
Excuse me?
guys, I'm prepared to cut you a deal, Mustard. Me and my guys will get the gravity up and running, sorted. I know people in the fish market. I know people in the spa. I know people in the vending machine, the place where all the vending machines come from. They gotta come from somewhere, and I know those guys. And some of them have been tinkering around with all the panels and the internal gravity systems. We could get this thing running in no time. Hell, I'll even throw in the magazine for free when I get there. In exchange, whenever you get a message from these fucks, could you send it straight to me?
You can just sign up for their newsletter.
I don't want to sign up for their newsletter, Mustard.
But wait, you're saying you could get this all done by tomorrow. It sounds like Mustard, this person you're talking to, could get it done today.
And I could get it done for free with no further... This is me cashing in my favors, bud. What you're doing is asking for favors from somebody you don't even know. Support local businesses.
Damn. I'm reminding everyone to remember their lores.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, I'm surprised that you think so little of me, that you think that I would make an
has got-
agreement.
Did you... Mustard.
Arms
Mustard.
crossed, standing behind Mustard. Backing you up.
Friend to friend, did you read the licensing agreement?
Of course I did, and there's costs to business, Paris. sometimes you need to sacrifice some of yourself or some of your privacy for the greater good. And getting that magazine was a greater good for me, which is why I
What?
signed which is why I signed up, but I wouldn't make an agreement on behalf of the Brink without discussing it with the rest of the proxy.
This thing sold you the magazine that kills people.
Perhaps.
I thought you were selling the magazine that kills people,
I was
Well,
going to
not
sell the
efficiently.
magazine that kills people.
but you didn't do it.
Because this fucking vulture swooped in. And now they've got your information. And I bet you had to pay for it with some kind of like fucking what's the currency called? People always want to give money a new name.
Fuck, what's a good fake name for money? That arbitrage.
Blint.
Did you say Blint?
No, Austin.
I think
Was Blint there? I said glint with a G.
Glint, but with a G. Yeah,
Well, just so you know that there was a 30 glint sign-on bonus when I received the message. So the magazine was basically free. And if this is what this is about, if you're upset at me for reaching out to another source, I apologize for that. But you know, you don't have to be upset about this.
You know what? I can't believe. Let me just recap the offer here for you real quick. I get the gravity on for you for free. All favors, we're done. I can't give you the magazine anymore because you bought it from this fucking shadow
I'll take
company.
another copy. What are you talking about?
Another copy doesn't
Oh my
exist.
god.
You know how long
Paris, you're being a
I
fucking
looked-
idiot. Of course you'll take another goddamn death magazine.
I mean, there's probably another copy out there. You can probably get another copy.
Yeah.
There were 4 copies in existence.
Thought you were-
Everything other than those 4 were pulped by a machine that they made specifically to destroy this magazine.
I thought you
I
could
was
get us
trying to trace
anything.
the-
You can't get us magazines 2 through 4?
I was so close to getting you the magazine. And then the what's this company's name? What does it call itself?
What does it call? The divine comma arbitrage. It's very clever when you think about it.
Why is it very clever, Mustard?
Well, because
Joe? Mustard?
It's funny.
Why is it clever?
It's a joke. But, like, it's professional. Like Casual Fridays. It's like a joke like Casual Fridays is.
I feel like Joe is a mirage created by the divine arbitrage just to
Oh my
be
god.
in its corner. Yeah, it's funny. We all think it's really good.
I spent a token to have a of an asset to dispatch a capable asset, and having someone agree with me is that.
That's right. Capable
That's
asset
game
right here.
me.
That's games.
Okay, I think Paris just straight up says it. This is dangerous bullshit, Mustard. What would it take you to take my deal? This is me deploying my lure. Ask a player, what would it take you to get your character to, I guess, shake hands with Paris? I want
Again,
to be clear
I-
here.
It's
It's not
funny.
just shaking hands. It's like
Mm,
the deal
right,
comes
yeah,
through.
yeah. No. And I think it's kind of funny because, like, Mustard was not going to agree. Like, she was being honest when she said she wasn't going to agree to this, like, on a professional level when she had, like, used this thing for, like, a personal one. So the, like, big concern here is, like, well, okay, sure. I think the price that she names is, like, the argument she basically makes is, like, well, you say you know all of these people who are willing to help, but they're not willing to help when there isn't an emergency. So I
Yeah.
want you to get at least 10 of your supposed friends to volunteer for the Brink Proxy.
Oh.
You get more than 10. You can get more than 10.
Yeah, done. Absolutely.
You know, no, more than 10, more than that. You has
More
to be
than
I'll shake on it.
20.
20 done.
20 is not more.
That's a lot of people.
It's not a lot. No, it's
Butt
more.
out of it, Joe.
God. 20.
Fucking Joe.
20 people.
It's a
Gravity
small
back on.
office.
You get a better office too.
I can't give you an
Can't give me an
office. I am
office.
not
You
a
can't even-
real estate. What was that, Mustard? He can't even.
That's what I'm
Don't worry
saying.
about it.
What I'm saying. I bet the divine arbitrage could. It's the comet
called
kills
that
me every time.
It's called that because it's a divine, you idiot.
Divinity is very inspiring.
There's all sorts of different types of divinity.
Oh my. Just like.
Divinity is always okay in this office.
Except when I'm researching this cult, which will.
We'll talk about it shortly.
God. Just Paris is in a fucking foul mood.
Well, you took the
It's
deal.
so funny that you're offering to do this for free, and they're like, "What do you mean?"
It's because it turns out that divine capital is fucking compelling. You get a sign-up bonus of 30 glints, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Mustard. If you tell a friend, you get 100.
You get 100. Yeah. Did you know that if you subscribe to the monthly service, you get 5 free games a month? That they're free.
The question is, how much glint does it cost to remotely monitor the gravity systems?
It earns you glint. For each
cost you
no,
glint?
for every piece of for every time there's a gravity mistake that it catches, you get 1/100th of a glint coin.
Wow. So you'd be losing money.
You're losing money.
Not to sign up.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And also, just don't ask what a glint is.
It's fine. It's 1 unit. Like 1 glint is 1 unit, and a unit
glint.
is a unit of glint. Exactly.
Right.
I want to be clear here. In order to sort of like color Paris's characterization here, the vending machines do not require money. You go up to them and you push a button and it dispenses you food.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to play a
But then
salesman
how do
who
you
like
know how bad people want each particular thing?
Yeah, it's gonna help us
Doesn't
figure
matter.
out how. It's okay, but you go up to the vending machine, and you do this. You do this. You refill them, right? And
Yes, I
you
do.
go up, and oh no, there is no more cookie bars. There's only the calciums left, and no one likes the calciums because they're gross. And you say okay, but I guess I'll just put them all in there. But if it costs
No, I don't.
glint coin, you would know you don't have to put any of the calciums left.
Joe, I understand you're excited about this, but what
It's
I do is
new!
I see that there's. I just write down more cookies needed in Seventine's office, and then I bring
Oh
more cookies.
boy, what an example to give, huh, Mustard? Your this fucking guy, the personal vending machine, gets more cookie bars.
You know how I feel about
The glint
Seventine.
coin system is just more freedom for everybody, because that way we can decide who gets the cookie. I want to spend my glint coin on a cookie.
Breaking my heart, Joe.
I didn't know that we were that
Breaking my
close.
heart.
Damn. They got history.
It's called freedom of speech.
Oh, fuck off.
I see where you're coming from. I get it. You've been here for what? 90 years? It must be hard to see things change. But this system's quick.
But it's not good.
What's the difference?
Fuck off, Joe. Just like goes to try and off goes Paris to try and like call in a bunch of favors and broker deals and hand around a piece of paper with a sign up to Brink Proxy, please, comma for Paris.
I know that guy means well, but geez. Some people can't tell the way the wind is blowing.
seems very jealous over this divine arbitrage thing. You know,
I do. It's like,
just be better.
yeah. It's like, my mom used to make a great pot roast. When the diner started selling better pot roast, I didn't get mad. I just started eating the new pot roast. It's just like that.
It's exactly like that. And who am I to deny myself a better pot roast?
I think you deserve one. If I can be honest with you. Mustard, you work really hard. You deserve a good pot roast.
Well, when we're done here, maybe we can head to the Brink Diner.
Uh-huh.
Not coming up with the name for the Brink Diner. Just saying those words.
Just the Brink Diner. It's called the Brink. That was it's called the Brink. That's what we call it.
Okay, yeah.
And that's a scene, I think.
It sure is.
Yes, Mod de Vive. That's right, Toroid. All right. I don't think any of our things have resolved.
Nope.
Nothing's resolved bad yet either, right? Nothing's like
Correct.
No, I don't think
through.
so. I don't think either one way.
Although
or the
there's
other.
a very big threat that's been totally unaddressed.
Yes, totally, 100%.
Which is notable. It is notable for its absence.
Yeah. Ugh. I feel gross.
I like that
Yeah.
we've introduced like a sort of dedicated crypto bro.
Yeah.
I can't believe Steve's
Yeah,
the
why
Bitcoin
did
guy. Yo, Joe, how many apes did you slay?
Come on.
Oh no, I'm sorry. But you
You're
said
like,
Allie,
you
how
said
do you feel?
that mustard
You're like-
sucks, and so mustard sucking means that Joe gets to suck worse. Because that's the thing, right? The whole point is that Joe is like a skis ball. That mustard is like, well, you have to understand. He's really cute and like he's funny. You know what I mean? And like, if you're already a weirdo who's bad, Joe has to be worse.
You
We
took
just-
the deal that
We just have weird ideas about cybersecurity.
Right.
You know?
I just think things should be more open.
I'll say I don't think that Joe has to be worse. You don't have to fall in love. You don't have to fall in love with someone that's worse than you, but it's definitely possible. It's
That's
basically
the way that's phrased. The charming rogue. I guess Joe could be the charming rogue who listens to like lefty podcasts instead. You know what I mean. But I think it's funnier if Joe is just a naive.
Oh yeah, it's way funnier.
But
It's almost as funny as calling your company the Divine Arbitrage.
oh no,
That's funny.
the divine knows that the divine knows what it can do, right? Arbitrage is presumably like people will sign up.
Yeah,
I don't need to
100%.
hide what I am.
Yeah, 100%.
I also don't think it's too out of the realm of possibility that there would also be people like Paris who, working in sales in the Twilight Mirage, would be like, that's a divine.
I think to do the thing you do in the Twilight Mirage, truly seriously, I think for Paris to exist in the Twilight Mirage, Paris has gone through a lot of education, and just through experience has also known this, to know what I do is dangerously close to a thing we eradicated. What I do in restocking things and getting people things that they need gives me a lot of power over people, and I could invest that power into myself and make myself the source. I mean, you are literally called the source, right? But
And we saw Paris screw it up earlier this episode, right? Paris caused Knighton's death because they were like, I'm a capable enough broker to be able to draw these disparate threads together. Right.
This is the thing, right? Is that like the person in the Twilight Mirage who does this knows that they are a broker, that they are a connector, that they bring things together. The person, the bad version of this does believe they are the source. They believe that they are the thing that is the most important. That is what the Divine Arbitrage is, right? The Divine Arbitrage sees oranges and guns and people and magazines that kill you and says, like, all of these things are just things that need to be rearranged, and I get to take a cut whenever anything gets rearranged. And if I'm not the vessel through which these things move, they're not moving as efficiently as they could be, and that's a waste. That's just wasteful. And so there is like that I suspect that Paris has been very well educated about that threat, in like no uncertain terms, in the same way that, you know, the world that we dream of, in which, for instance, yes, we have contemporary technologies and machine learning, but we're also like, the people building them have been not just like took a machine learning ethics class or an AI ethics class, and they're like, well, if they ever start talking like people, that means we have to treat them like people, but actually think about the repercussions of the ways in which, you know, machine learning is based on the amalgamation of lots of data, often data that belongs to other people or that's tied to the invasion of privacy, stuff around, you know, what does the creation of new stuff do in terms of our biases, our established biases and political power and etc. Like, that's the sort of stuff that you have actually gone through. So yeah, I think you can recognize exactly the thing that is happening here. This is like red alert. Someone is trying to create capitalism inside of the Twilight Mirage, and create it in pretty much the most heinous form it could be, right? This is monopoly capitalism. This is digital monopoly capitalism without any sort of check or balance or competition or anything else. Not that any of those things are enough to make it good, but it's literally the worst version of it. So
it's very
there's
literally
plenty of checks,
one
Austin.
entity.
yes.
There's plenty of checks. I get a little check every time I get a sandwich from the sandwich shop.
And when I get 10 checks, I get a free
Hey, hey, getting checks on sandwiches from sandwich shops is like a historical, like, important thing within the Twilight Mirage. So don't.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
don't
yeah.
Sure.
knock it.
There is
This is true.
So you're just saying that
Anticipation.
predisposed
Yes.
to being like, oh yeah, checks for sandwiches. That's awesome.
Yeah. You
But
have
I
to go
do
to
want
every
to-
floor of the Brink and get the check from each floor.
Mm-hmm.
Mustard, did you take the deal there, Mustard? Or because we left
With-
that
with
conversation on
Paris.
bad terms, but was it leaving on bad terms having signed the deal and being grumpy about it, or was it leaving on bad terms?
No,
and you
absolutely.
being
And
like,
I don't even think it was like a grumpy thing. I mean, I can't say how Paris feels about it, but again, like,
grumpy?
Mustard wasn't going to take that deal from Arbitrage because she wouldn't make decisions that affect like the entire base like that,
Right.
and is just assuming like, oh, it's two people in the market who are like competing with each other, and that's why Paris seems so upset about this. But like, the deal was get people to sign up for.
Get 20 more volunteers on
Right.
Brink Proxy. Yeah.
Yes. Which, yeah, I'm happy to do in exchange for don't do this, which you were going to do anyway, and give Paris next time it texts, send it to Paris.
Sure.
Ugh.
Well, I'm gonna get, refer a friend bonus. So I'm
God.
happy to
Oh my fucking
let you know all of this
god.
text. So
An entire
It's a
person
win-win-win.
just, yeah. This is you're the type of person who cuts out coupons not because you use them or need them, but like there's like something compelling about the process of maximizing coupon usage. Do you
yeah,
get-
I guess so. But, well, I think also the other thing is that like it's one thing for Mustard to have like a personal need and to fulfill
Yeah,
it with
this is true.
And it's another thing to be like, oh, I will hand over the
Mm-hmm.
Brink's gravity system to this entity that I don't know. When like her thing is like, I fear our home will be destroyed or will be sold or whatever.
Right,
So like
right.
those are like
There's a difference there.
directly against. Yeah. Her like goals in the Brink, but like this thing is going to get me this magazine that I want for a personal reason is different from the other thing. So
Yeah, okay.
is that our game?
I think that's our game for today.
Yeah.
None of these have resolved. I feel like we've added threats. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back hopefully next week for some more of this. We will see. Time.is.
Time.is.
Good game, IMO.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
Damn, my accuracy of my synchronization is so good right now. I'm at plus or minus 0.01 seconds.
Wow. That's very good.
I'm 2
Wow.
whole seconds behind.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
I'm
at
u-
1.2.
I'm usually good, but it's usually between like 0.08 and like 0.2.
Heath,
Yeah.
I am plus 0.05 seconds.
Yo.
Wow, you're closer to time than any of us.
I can see God.
All right. Are we ready to clap? We need 10 seconds. I'm so excited to not be sitting in this chair. I'm so excited to not be podcasting. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.